package, so we can, that's $3.50 a square foot out of whatever the playground, whatever the mat material is. He said, y'all do, he said, y'all do that, he said, I can do that. He said, no need me to do it, gotta have somebody do it. So just would write that in the deal.
Are we, whatever y'all plan on, are we gonna use this toward the mat material?
Somebody hit it.
Both will go on there. It's got, according to Kyron, what he said, the mat and playground.
Yeah, they were over
you gotta
digging
put
that out, so
mat
they
up
could
the
pour the
playground.
concrete.
No, I mean on the
driveway.
cost, because we gotta justify what we're asking for $15,000 for.
Well, that'll be split between, I mean, if you got, if I'm understanding him, by the time you get labor and installation, if you got $1 for the playground equipment, you're gonna have $1 on the mat and
Well,
installation.
yeah.
So it's all gonna be, it'll be bid in the package, so, yeah.
Yeah. Did that gentleman give you a cost estimate on this?
He's working on, he come down and looked yesterday, and they're gonna give us, he's gonna allow $100,000, $101,000 playground, $150,000 playground, I'm talking about all $200,000.
No, they had
If we
to
get
fix
some
the
other people
mats.
to donate a little bit, yeah. So he's gonna do a playground, it's got $125,000, playground, and $150,000.
Now, you know we have to bid it out.
Well, we can get it. I mean,
Okay,
it's just that.
but we need a cost estimate to go in the grant application tomorrow.
Well, do you wanna use $125,000 or $150,000?
I want to use a $30,000 piece of equipment. Like if the mat is $30,000, I need to submit that so we can ask for $15,000. Because we've got a proof of your cost share.
Well, and put the mat in, I mean, that's gonna be a single one item, line item, and I know it's gonna be over 30,000.
But I need something from him telling me that it costs that much. Or even if it costs $45,000, if he sends
Well, you
me.
gotta defend, that's how it's gonna be. We're working on something variables here, because the mat, by the square footage, for instance, we can't do a swing, because a swing, if you do a swing, and
Yeah,
this
I
is
know
the
you gotta
center,
have a fall area.
you gotta have 16 foot behind, 16 foot in front of, and 12 foot. That's gonna be 16 by 16 and 12 by 12, and if that's just a 12-foot area, so that'd be 36 times 36. Just the playground, just the mat for a swing is gonna be a small one. A two-seater would be, what's that, 36 times, 30,
By 32.
so
24 by 32.
12, 24, 36. You gotta have, if it's a 12-foot swing, a two-seater swing, you gotta have 12 foot on that end, 12 foot on that
Oh,
end.
you got one swing.
Well, it'd be two swings and 12 foot.
I got 12 foot, 12 foot, 24, 16, and 16, 32.
So that'd be 36 times 16 and 16 would be 32. 36 times 32. You gotta have 1,152 square feet of mat just to put a small swing set.
Okay, all I need is a cost estimate from the vendor saying that it's gonna cost at least $30,000 or more.
It'd be more.
Well, I need one.
It's kinda hard to get into it. I'm trying to use one guy because he's the only one talking to tells me everything. You want him to send
Cost estimate of impact material.
a 40 by 70 would be the max. Hey Wayne, just do a favor. Could you give me just on a cost estimate on the mat material, because the matching grant we're trying to apply for, they've got to know what the cost is gonna be. Because the 15,000 for impact material. And I could put that down as one item, but I know what's in it. On new playground, yes. So whatever, well, it'll be 30,000 have to be spent, but it's gonna be more than 30,000, but I understand that, but I gotta have at least that much to show on the grant application. I need to know, Well, what were you saying roughly was from what you were figuring out, what were you saying was gonna be the playground size? I know it's not gonna be the 40 by 70. Okay, all right, but that is something we put, okay, so put $42,000.
Born and raised in
Okay, fine. Can you send me a copy of an estimate on that?
Like real fast.
Can you,
I know what that's
what is the fax machine in there working? Email? Is your email working?
Yep, I got a fax machine or email, what do you want?
Well, I need to get something sent to me. You want a fax or email it? Okay, you're gonna email it. Greg? Dot Harmon, 511,
Yeah.
at Gmail.
.com.
Yeah.
Hang on a second, I'm gonna give you my push sheet, because I'm sitting over here in that building, and he gets his stuff in, and everybody else, but he, I can get it from him. Hang on a second, I'm gonna give you.
Yep. What you got, man?
Won't you send me that email?
Great.
Hey, MOA agreement, it's Miranda over, MOA agreements, Miranda, what's the initial standard?
Operating, we're looking into it.
I had to go with my plan. I would say.
Memorandum of agreement.
Memorandum.
Oh, okay, okay. Well,
Basically, but I mean, all this is on,
Really know when you need
it's on the bridge.
I'll keep watching my email, dig into it. That works. Thank you. It's interesting down right now.
I think to be, I think it was originally supposed to start in 19, then they bring it back up.
How we doing this
You
time?
can come by and get it.
Better now.
After I get back.
Well, that's close.
I mean, it may be.
I had to sleep a while.
Man, I understand. I don't know if that's what I had or what I had, but it worked on me, we don't have.
That's what it did me.
You got this one?
Yeah, we just got trouble.
Yeah, I went there and then you in the walking place.
Yeah, and I think I think it's like, you got any words to do that?
Yeah.
You go there. What they got now is I'm trying to hit it.
They're not very bad.
Okay, well, that's what I. Well, I'll come as soon as I get it, I'll come down.
Well, they're one, the reason I say that, they're one, here, when it, Billy didn't pass specs,
Okay.
they
Yeah.
came back out, reboard,
He said you did it.
put their name. So they're out there, jackhammering it out, because they didn't pass specs. They got carried all the way back out and
I
reboard.
don't know, they don't have to go all the way down, they gotta go. 'cause
Well,
if
whatever
they did,
above
that'd be
ground
out-
has to
That'd be 80, that'd be 80 foot deep, I don't know what they gotta do. I don't think-
Imagine they're gonna have to go down a couple feet.
That,
Oh, it's up, take it out 80 feet.
that material is roughly $20 a square foot.
Okay.
And he's saying you're probably gonna have, that may be a little big, a 35 by 60 playground would be 2,100 feet, be 42,000.
Not.
So to cover that whole area is 42,000.
Well, he said if you did a 35 by 60, it's 2,100 square feet, and he said that the impact would be $42,000 installed.
You say Burke Playground,
Yes.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
BERT?
B-U-R-K-E.
I have to play that, you have that thing on screen, that's on flash drive, and then double
Yeah.
Exactly.
Who's this young lady you brought in here? She looks a lot younger since she quit working for them. I don't know. Huh?
Stop making her work.
Doesn't that work? Huh?
That resolution 2403.
Okay, okay.
Oh, I
Nothing very good. 2403.
Well, that's on the, it's on the minutes, 24-03.
She gave you a copy of the resolution. Or did you give her back a copy of the resolution? Or you do one?
Get everyone
Tell me
here.
the packet, I'll try to,
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
pay, you get that, amen. That'll work. Great text, though.
We went a little early in the month this month, I ain't got two companies here yet, we went a little early in the month this month because to meet the deadline for the grant application go along with the park, it had to be in by Thursday, so it'd be a little hard to have a meeting on the latter part of the month. So we moved up so we could get. Does anybody know if Jimmy's coming? Does anybody ever hear anything of Jimmy? Whatever it is. I don't know if we had to schedule the night's meeting tonight because we've got to have some paperwork in the mail before Thursday, so we moved the meeting a little earlier than month and then had it. And I haven't, Miranda talked to Jimmy, I haven't, let me see if he's coming.
What you call specialty market.
He may be able to work on that.
Call there.
He's not, but they're going to phone. Okay, I would say he's not gonna be here. All right, it is.
Turn your mics on. Turn your mics on. Were they already on?
Just me.
Is that on or off? Okay, good.
Guess we're sharing mine.
All right, now you want to leave the word prayer?
Jesus, thank you for your goodness and kindness to our community. Help us do your will tonight. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Terry Brady.
Here.
Chris Wood.
Here.
Paul Moore.
Here.
Jim Clark. Dave Biggs. Is that why I can't get it on the spot? Yes, sir? Okay. Did you send it to Greg's? Okay, all right. Thanks, sir. Okay, appreciate it, fella. Did you see if that should be coming to you? Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I've got to get a bid sheet in there, and I don't take the phone call. Okay, we have a motion, or y'all still looking? I'm sorry, I got on the.
Make a motion, we pass the February 16th, 2024 minutes.
I
Motion
second
to
that. I'll second.
All in favor, roll call. Terry Brady.
Aye.
Chris Wood.
Aye.
Paul Moore.
Here.
All in favor. in financials?
He's still at work.
Okay.
This is our way of keeping corruption at a minimum.
All right. You should have-
You hear me? Brent? Tell Jimmy this is our way of keeping corruption at a minimum. We only got 3 out of 4 here.
All right.
I'm messing with you.
January, financials, actually balance sheet.
Look at most of this in the round.
I'm just laughing.
Yes. Look at most of it in there.
Bottom line's on the front.
Yes. I didn't see anything, but I didn't finish it, but enough. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, you've already seen it.
Street fund, because the state was unhappy with the work on the Gilman sidewalk, they have not given us our 2 last percentage of returns
Yep.
on those jobs. That should all be happy, the guys should be about through, it's not through today, then send in the next pay estimate, state of release their money back. Our engineer suggests we want very strongly pay the contractor, he get his work straightened out, he had that done, his work straightened out, we haven't got. Brenda tried to provide 2 pay estimates, we paid all of our part of the contract. We haven't got our percentage back from the highway department. That's why you're looking so rough in the street. That should come back.
How much is coming back roughly?
About $300,000.
Yeah.
So your street department's looking real rough right now because the highway department said, no, well, we got to get him back, it's not, for us not to give y'all the money. I said, we got to pay him. He said, we're gonna hold y'all's money back. The highway department held our money on the last 2 credit requests. That should be, there'll be a final pay estimate to him, and we'll get, and once that comes through, then the state will send all the money back to us, and our county will be back to us.
As Chris was just noting to me a while ago, this really, we went over this here like a couple, 3 weeks ago, most of it, on all this. And there's not any irregularities that
I just want y'all to know
front
that,
of the whole thing's on the front page, really, the summary.
I just want y'all to know on the street fund,
Yeah.
that money will be coming back when we get, and supposedly the, Ethan has been down with the gentleman, and didn't do a walkthrough with the engineer, but he walked through with the contractor, and Ethan's happy. Ethan's happy, highway department's happy. So, Ethan is your inspector from the highway department that has to get final grades done. And he's been down and the contractor knows he don't do the sign off, he's got to come back. So he got him down without our engineer, he could come down and do a walkthrough. So,
I make a motion we approve this. Move on.
I'll second.
January 24th financials, we have a motion and a second to accept, roll call. Terry Wood.
Aye.
Chris Ford.
Aye.
Alan Moore. All in favor. The next one is kind of tying into the water department. Right, Brenda, this financial statement, it's got the general fund and the water department balance.
Okay.
So 2023 financial statement, that's a real condensed report that the state requires to file, or to vote on. There's all your funds and everything, it's a two-page sheet.
I put it on the webpage, and I put it in the Google Material, because the article process is included in our newspaper. But I'm gonna ask you, audit, just put it on the webpage, so we don't pay that bill. But I have to wait and get some questions on it.
That's basically where the city stood as, the end of 23.
Make a motion we approve the 2023 financial statement.
Okay, you have a motion to accept the short, it's just a two-page version of it, but that's what we're required to publish with everybody. But that's from the auditor on through December 31st, 2023. Have a motion. Have a
I'll second.
Roll call.
Aye.
Aye.
The next thing you have in front of you is the audit of the 2022 water and sewer audit. This is their audit, and that will be tied in with the state audit. The state does not audit, we have to pay an audit firm to audit the water and sewer department, and then the state gives its blessings on that. So if you look in, you go on the law, on the webpage on the state auditor, and they approve Linwood, once you got the 2022 audit in there, they'll give their blessing on that at a later time, unless there's something they don't like or something they don't like from auditor, they'll send it back.
Y'all have to, you have to vote to accept it.
Right. So we need to accept this is audit from, Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Fowler on the water department for 2022.
Well, you got your fingers in a little bit of thing.
I don't even know this part. He may be kin to, I don't know him, but anyway.
I'll just.
And he is actually not doing our audit, he was doing our audit, but now he turned it over to, which one? Rogers is the, will be doing the city's audit. Not the Fowler.
I was just giving you a hard time there.
This is actually his audit of the water department for the year 2022. But I'll have to prove him to do the 23 audit next, but this is the audit for 2022 on the water and sewer only. Then the state auditor, when she does general fund, street fund, everything else, they'll look at this and stamp their blessings on it. Or if they don't like something they see in the audit, they'll tell them to go back and give them some more information. So this audit, the water and sewer is actually audited by a different auditor, and then the state gives them a quick look over on it. If they don't like something on it, they can make them go back and do something. If they like it, they'll stamp it. Water department's actually audited deeper than the general fund and the street fund and all that. It's a deeper audit than what the state is.
On our page 10, our net cash flow from operating activities was up 200,000. Is that due to what? Inflation, due to what? From 22 to 21, on page 10.
You're up.
Not 200,000, 180,000.
So your property income was up from 21 to 22. $200,000.
But the net cash flow from operating activities,
You're up from one.
You're up
187 to
200,
109.
you're up 230, whatever.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
right, 234 is correct.
Up, your income, your operating income.
What's that from?
It's gonna be your sales tax and your water and sewer revenue.
Okay. So that's, part of that is gonna be, if I'm not mistaken, is gonna be the increase which was intelligently put into it back many years ago. A little bit of it's that, a little bit of it's different things, it's just kinda going with the cost of living. Am I right or wrong?
The increase on that, if you look at your water and sewer increase, even though you had the sales tax increase, most of this increase is in sales tax, it's not in revenue. Right, Brenda? Go back and really get into depth of studying this, but the 5%, you didn't have, even though you put a 5% rate increase in, you didn't have a 5% income in revenue. The income is from sales tax.
You were up $115,000 in sales
Yeah,
tax.
well, I guess my point is, if you're collecting 10 cents on a dollar, and then all of a sudden that thing that cost you $1 cost you $2, you're collecting 20 cents on $10. It'd be on $2 if you collected 20 cents. So I guess what I mean is inflation started climbing right along in this time pretty good, and anyway, it's a good thing, is what I'm pointing out. Might be collecting the same amount of sales tax, but you're collecting on more money. Would be a simple way to
Well,
put it.
the sales tax, the reason it's going up, the internet
That's good.
sales, your internet sales are starting to pay sales tax, and even though what that's been hitting about 3 years, I wasn't here on the council when that actually started hitting. Okay, it's been about 3 years, and there's companies that are just now getting online paying sales tax. So, I don't know how long you're gonna keep seeing an increase of sales tax, but the big deal is all the companies are getting caught and they're having to pay sales tax on internet sales back to the cities. And that revenue is still coming up because there's little companies, Google and all those people have been paying out for about 3 years. But everybody else that wasn't paying is getting caught and is catching up, and I don't know how far we are in that.
Yeah, I got you.
I don't know how to give you an answer on that, because I don't know the internet sales, I don't know who's paying sales tax. Everybody's supposed to be paying sales tax, and if they're not, when they get caught, they're having to go back and pay the sales tax. So your internet sales tax has been a big boost to your sales tax rate.
Page 18 said, the summary of auditor's results. The auditor's report expressed an unqualified opinion on the financial status of Louisville Water and Sewer Department. For instance, no significant deficiencies or material weaknesses were disclosed during the audit of the financial statements. That's good. No instance of non-compliance material to the financial statements of the department were disclosed during the audit. That's good. Findings on the financial statement, none. Findings and question cost, none. Looks like whoever's doing the bookkeeping, which I'm assuming comes back to Brenda, been doing a really good job keeping that count separate.
I make a motion we approve the 2022 water and sewer department audit.
Motion to accept the water and sewer audit for December 31st of 2022, do I have a second?
No, second.
Roll call.
Aye.
Aye.
All in favor? I need a motion to accept, unless y'all want to do a different firm, make a motion that y'all accept Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler to do the 2023 audit on the water and sewer. It's just motion to accept them to do it.
this is just the.
And if y'all wanna look at somebody else, you need to start.
Well,
looking
these are the ones that just got through,
Doing the 2023.
yeah, they look like
If
they
y'all,
done a
if
good
y'all don't
job.
like this firm, y'all need to be looking for somebody else to get them next year, not on the 2023 audit. We don't have time to get another firm to do a 2023
I'll make that
audit.
motion, yeah.
I second it.
A motion and second to accept Turner, Rogers, Manning, and Plyler to do the 2023 financial audit on the water and sewer fund.
Aye.
Aye.
Brenda, does that get,
Y'all did do the motion to accept
yeah,
the person on it, and now we've got a motion to
Accept
accept
them.
it, okay.
that's everything, that's 5, 6, and
Can you read that a
7.
little bit better? He actually put descriptions of what he did.
Okay, the bond
That's
report
from GEJ.
that I printed off for y'all last month, it's 30 pages long. I didn't print it and put it in the packet, I didn't print it and put it online. It's just the same audit from the company that's collecting the sales tax now. They're sending a monthly report. It's about 30 pages long, telling you the income and all that of the water and sewer audit. The engagement letter, Brenda, that got the engagement letter.
Yep.
Yes. I gotta sign that, right? I need to sign it.
Did we have to make two separate motions for that then?
We don't
Since
have
it
to,
was two
that
different
should, there's 2 lines on the
items?
agenda, that's all in one, I just need to do the signature. You can get out of my packet tomorrow, put it back in the packet.
Right, right.
Okay. All right, we're gonna keep that. Yeah, I got it. The bond report that we're talking about, if y'all remember last month, I gave you, that was the first month, we've got one from the new company that's handling the city's bonds. It just tells you how much money come in and went out. That's gonna be in your financials, in your water and sewer report every month anyway. That's an extra set of paperwork that we haven't got. Y'all want that included in your minutes every month. It's about 30 pages long. We're looking at it. If you want it, it's just a set of, I included it last month because we hadn't seen it. But it's not any different than what we were doing with the other bonding companies. But I gave you the numbers because it took them a couple of months to get the money back in. That's a big variance last
I'm
month.
not saying I necessarily would like to have a 30-page report on it, but can you just give us the numbers?
It's gonna be in your water and sewer budget.
Then we're fine.
report every month.
Yeah, I'll
I'm
see
fine,
it.
I'm with him, cause I wanna tell you that, when we was going through all that other stuff, you sit there and you get bogged down in that stuff.
It's gonna be in
It's-
your numbers.
It's available if you have questions anyway.
If you
Right.
want the long report, it's available, but the short report's gonna be in the financials on the water and sewer.
Usually is, but I'm just
The
waiting.
income's gonna be there. It's
Yeah,
not-
yeah.
It's just, that's where it derives from, and I wanted you to see that last month because it held it for 3 months.
The legal writing is
I have a
worthless to
book
me.
in my office, keeping up with the
Yeah.
rules, and the revision, I'm keeping up with it, so I need to look at that.
Y'all are welcome to look at that. The income is gonna be in your financials on the water, sewer, and street every month anyway. If you wanna look at that long report of where those numbers are coming from, it's in that report. We never did look at that before with the other company, but it was,
Yeah, he told me about it.
that money
That
moved,
one piece of
that
equipment,
money
$20,000
moved,
piece of
and
equipment
then
hadn't even
they
been
kept
used.
it all for 3 months.
Yep.
And it got scary to me because we weren't getting any of it. And when she said it, that's why I wanted y'all to see that all come. But now it'll all balance down and be just like it was. It's gonna be your income. The reason I wanted that report last month
I'm
is
serious.
you didn't see the income for 3 months. And now the income's back, like it's coming in every month like it's supposed to be, and it'll be in your monthly. So if y'all are okay with that, I'm just gonna have Brenda put that in the book. It'll be in your financials. The dollar amount be in your financials. If you wanna leave the long report of it, it'll be in Brenda's office, if anybody wants to read it. We're not hiding anything from anybody, I just don't see any need to print the 30-page report. And it's in your financials, okay? It'll be in water, sewer, and street. And then we break it out, the 1 cent tax that goes to split up, we're breaking out, Brenda breaks that down, like it's 8% that goes to, parks and 5, don't quote me on the number, but it's like 5% that goes to the dogs and whatever to the street. She's just breaking those percentages out like they always have, and those are dropping down in those accounts. Okay? Do I have permission to jump down to number 17? These ladies would like to get going. We'll have some other discussion on this. On resolution,
Thank you, Ryan.
if you don't mind, we're gonna drop down to item 17, resolution 2403.
Be it resolved by the City Council of Glenwood State of Arkansas, a resolution entitled Application for Improvements to the Park, a resolution authorizing the mayor of Glenwood to apply for a grant on behalf of the City of Glenwood. Whereas the City of Glenwood City Council has determined that the City of Glenwood meets eligibility requirements necessary to apply for the grant under the Arkansas Rural Community Grant Program. And whereas Glenwood has presented plans to update the park, and whereas the City Council of Glenwood recognizes the need for the project, concerns its importance, and supports the City of Glenwood in its efforts to proceed the same. And whereas the City of Glenwood has furnished proof that they have raised $15,000 through community cash and or in-kind donations to be applied to the project as a local match. Be it further resolved that the mayor of Glenwood is hereby authorized to submit an application, a formal request to the Arkansas Rural Development Commission for the purpose of securing state grant funds in the amount of $15,000 to aid and assist the City of Glenwood in achieving the purpose project described herein, as the mayor of Glenwood is further authorized to administer the grant funds for the same project. This is resolution 2403.
I would like to say, just for the record, whenever we got her to start doing our grants, it was one of the smartest moves we've made in a long time, because that's the way it's structured. The more grants you find us, the more money you make. Perfect scenario. Is that right?
And we're not making anything off of this one.
Right, I'm not saying you are on this one, but I'm saying in
Yeah.
general, it's in your best interest as it is in our best interest. A lot of times stuff goes unnoticed. So, I personally do appreciate, because we've gotten, between our asphalt grant, our sidewalk stuff, and you can go on and on, we've gotten several grants that we would probably not have otherwise, they would either been ineffectively filled in, or they would have got tangled up in the legal part of it. So, thank you for doing your job, is all I'm saying.
All right. We'll discuss, if your council knows, we're trying to get this money to go with our other $100,000 grant. We're going to discuss it before we got down here, but they need to get somewhere else, and we'll discuss it more. This $15,000 has to be a match, and that would be the money that we set back for the reserve for the, that's going to put in the park this year, it'd be $30,000. If you look at this, the playground equipment, roughly, this is the undermat for the playground equipment. He just finished his $46,000, so you're not getting a lot of playground. We need somewhere between $125,000 and $150,000, and we're going to try to discuss it. Hopefully, we can do some fundraisers, do some other stuff to get some money, because cities don't have that. If we don't get that much, we'll have to cut the playground equipment back. So when we draw a line and add, we say, okay, we're ready to put it out for bid, this is how much money we got. This would give us approximately $130,000 for that equipment, which would make it a fairly nice little park. Not anything super big, but that's what this money would go in with the $100,000 grant that we got approved, if we get it. And so that's what we're trying to do, is get some more money to go with that. Everybody understand what we're doing, and we'll discuss. Karen knows what's going on. If anybody in the audience wants to ask some of this, we're going to discuss this more in a minute on parks and all that stuff, if they need to get going. Has anybody got a question for Karen and them? If there's not, do I have entertain a motion to accept resolution 2403?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Nice.
Roll call. Terry Bud.
Aye.
Bruce Ford.
Aye.
Aye. You need to make copies of this for her, so I can. You want this also, don't you?
Yes, well,
Is that also item number 16 and 17 combined, I'm assuming?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what you wanted on
yes,
him.
that's what I have to have.
You need that, you need this, you need all three of these. Brenda, would you make our copy? All right, would you agree to do that? You got two more sheets, is that the one you got? There's a letter and I have it back here. There's a letter and a. What's the next? Did she give you a copy of this? I give her a bill. I'll get you a copy of that.
Did you do some checking? And this road service going up is 15,000, so when you get it closed out, you can apply for it. If anybody could use it, deposit it, because you have money at one time, for some reason, you go and quit. So she said, there's no line item saying that we can't do that. So keep that in mind, if you have 15,000 all in time.
All right, while he's coming back with that, like I said before, I'm gonna show you with all the work we got going on. I wanna show you what we're doing each, month. Jenkins gravel, the clarifier at the water plant, the main gearbox is out in it. He has pulled the gearbox and tore it apart, and believe it or not, 3 bearings in that gearbox are $7,245.27. For 3 bearings. That's what's out of it. Those bearings are ordered, he has not got that put back together yet, the bearings are due in any day, he has to pay for them.
Had it spun to races and messed the casings up or not?
There's some different, some gear speed bearings, and some real weird looking bearings, and there's 3 different manufacturers to make this all match up in there. But he's got them all found, got them all ordered. But that bill for $8,000 is the labor to pull the gearbox out, tear it apart. And the $7,245 is for the 3 bearings. That's not gonna be the labor to put it back together and put it in. All right.
That's the one you called us about the other day.
Yeah, and it's, okay. The next one that you see there, that's all the work we're continuing to do on the lift stations. We're just about, all the pumps at all the lift stations are in except for the pump at the, industrial park. And you'll see a bill on that from Tim Carver. The pump is in, but it's not installed yet. He's putting transducers, when we get all this stuff in, he's gonna come up here and show you how we're gonna be able to operate these lift stations and be able to adjust them on the phone and do a bunch of work. He's getting, all that work put in. We are not complete on it, but it's just about complete on everything. So I need y'all to vote on those 2 tickets for, Jenkins, one for $13,000 and one for $8,000. Y'all have any questions on, is that broke down, y'all wanted his list broke down? or-
It looks a lot better than it did.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks
Okay,
good.
much better.
Itemized more like you want,
Yeah.
you got 9. Okay, this is 9.
I think Brenda, aren't you the one that attests these, or?
Did you do that?
Yeah, the resolution.
Who wants one?
The original signature on it, but
No, that's Brian, or
Can
Mr.
attest.
Brian. Okay.
Brenda said Brian can attest to.
I know what I need to.
I've got the additional, I don't, yeah, this one, the additional letter, and this is. Can I give you an update on the application that was submitted to CDBG sewer department?
Yes, ma'am.
We had a meeting last week with the grant manager with AEDC, and we asked about our sewer, application, which we were told that our LMI survey was really good. It's been sitting on the governor's desk for 3 weeks now, and until she signs it, we're not gonna know anything. So we don't know who's been awarded and who has not until she puts the pen to paper. And, we're hoping it'll be before the 12th of April, because if we don't get it, we can resubmit on 12th April. Okay?
That would be nice, because we busted on the LMI again this month. We had a 1.16 for February in chlorine, which is too high, but I'm fine with that. I didn't have any people going up there, and I'm happy if we get a little bit. But some of the equipment that TJ's putting in, they're gonna be able to regulate that flow of chlorine and dechlor from the phone at the house, so they can watch that number and they can start playing with it instead of once a day. They can, but that's not installed yet, but we're working on getting there. Are y'all cool with, if y'all disapprove Jenkins? I just want to, got a $13,000 bill and an $8,000 bill for Jenkins.
I'll make a motion to approve Jenkins. We was already, I mean, I personally, I know was already aware of.
All this y'all know about. I haven't done anything without telling you.
So,
I'll second that.
Motion, Second. Roll call.
Steve Ray,
Aye.
Chris Fuller,
Aye.
Alan White,
uh,
all in favor.
Tim Carter, that's the check valves that went in, before his check valves were at Dr. Feelgood. So that's what those went to, that's some parts besides the pumps that went in up there. And that three-phase submerged pump is the pump that is for, industrial park, pumps in, TJ got to put it. And we just got the pump in, when did that pump come in? It just come in yesterday, so it just came in. That's what the two Jim Carter invoices are for. So, please approve that. He's spending a lot of money. That should be, that is, as far as I know, except for some tensiphone stuff, I think all the parts are bought, and all the pump stations back in shape. And, then that's got the parts for the, clarifier are paid for. We have a problem with the new 125 horse motor that was put in right at the end of Billy's. Did y'all do that right at the end of Billy's term as mayor, when you put that big 125 horse motor in at the water plant, high service pump motor? They have not come down to look at it, but it started leaking oil one day last week, and we're hoping that's still in the
I think so. It was,
It
I needed,
was before I was
yeah,
there.
it's one of them higher dollar ones.
Yeah, it's a high dollar.
Like, it seemed like maybe
100
100.
grand. I don't know.
I'm talking about the time you got done out the door.
What's the warranty on it? Do we know?
I
They,
don't know. I don't, PJ's called them, and they have not called them back. The motor it may be fine. It may just need a seal for it. We quit running the pump until we find out. We're not gonna burn a pump it.
Yeah.
And that's a good operator. He started leaking oil, he shut it down. But that motor is a problem. The blow-off valve that's been out for 2.5 years on the number 1 filter, number 2 filter, we got put in it finally came in after 2.5 years. Valve finally came in, finally got that in. That's gonna make the water operator be able to help a whole lot, because when you backwash a filter, if the filter's clean, you turn the filter back on, you wanna waste that water while the filter fills up the first time. That valve out, couldn't waste the water, it went right into the filter. And now we can waste that water. Well, water quality hasn't been an issue, but this is really gonna help him even more if that piece is put in. You wanna approve Tim Carter?
I make a motion, we approve them.
Okay. Tim Carter, that motion approved.
I'll second.
All in favor? Roll call.
Steve Ray, Mr. Wood?
Aye.
All in favor? All in favor.
All right, the next one is CG3 excavation. The gentleman that did our water line on First Street is getting out of doing water line work and he wants to sell some equipment. I called all in all before we did it. He had a 72 inch bush hog going, he skid steer we got, a street broom, a grapple, and a set of forks for $14,300. That particular skid steer is almost, that brush cutter is almost 20 grand for that, because you bought it new. And Brett, what's the condition of all that equipment? It almost looks new. Some of the stuff doesn't look like it even been put on. That's what y'all approved, to go get it, go and see it, get that, the water plant, and y'all vote for that, because it's 14. I talked to all of you, I knew what it was, but you approved the $14,300 purchase on that. That's all used, it's used, but not very used.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that motion.
Motion and second to accept the equipment we bought from G3J Excavation. Roll call.
Terry Bruce?
Aye.
Chris Ford?
Aye.
All in favor?
We've got 3 memorandums of agreement, and I don't know why this one, the first one we're gonna do, hasn't already been, I thought it already approved it. I got paperwork on it, so we're gonna approve it again, because the job's already finished. The bridge job, where we got the ARPA money to pay the $100,000 on the project that y'all had already done 4 years ago. This is just approving a memorandum of agreement between us and the engineers to do the work complete. I appreciate you. If y'all approve agreement number 02336-CW-L, project number 23067.
I'll make that motion.
Have a second.
Point's kind of moved, it's a little late to disprove it, ain't it?
Gotta approve it.
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Terry Bruce?
Aye.
Chris Ford?
Aye.
Uh,
Now then, the water and sewer project that we have been working on for 2 years, and there's a whole big mess going on with all that with the state right now. They released us as of March the 4th to proceed with the engineering to get the water and sewer project out to bid, and to get the 1.75% interest that they're promises, we have to have a contractor working by July 31st, which is an impossible step to meet. But we got to enter into memorandum of agreement with our engineer to start working on this, and then we're going to fight the battle of financing as we move on down the road. I have talked to our senator, Terry Rice, and me are good friends. We've gone back 30 years, and I called and talked to Terry, and he said, let me call the head of natural resource, and he said, he's gonna call you. And I called, Terry called him, and he called me yesterday. We talked for probably 45 minutes. And he said, the big right truth with you, Billy, he said, we're trying to get all the ARPA money signed up and get under construction by July 31st. Y'all's job ain't even looking at it, but your standard deadline that we have to it's gotta be done by July 31st. He said, we're not backing off of that right now, but he said, we're not looking at that job right now, because we gotta get the ARPA money, which ARPA money, Amity's got a bunch of ARPA money that they're trying to do with their project. We have, our ARPA money was the bridge project, but that money has to be finished, and they got 2 years, that money goes back to the federal government. We went on talking, and he said, well, I don't understand what your problem is. We just want a commitment that y'all are gonna do the job and be complete in 3 years. So I got off the phone with him from talking to him and called Andy. And he said, Billy, that's not what he's telling us, but he said, that's exactly the way we have always done every natural resource project until now. And he said, that's not the guidelines they're telling us. They're telling us right now, and it's saying that but this application saying we're gonna start work by July 31st next year. We're not gonna approve that, it's just a little lot, but Andy wants, we gotta get the paperwork signed so the engineer's gonna work for it. But legally, you can't go to work and do anything on these projects, until you get these approved. So, with that being said, the head gentleman at Natural Resource said, real quiet, he said, probably gonna have to be some compromise here. He wouldn't say anything other than that. So, there may be some problem with, not on the, getting the money, but the interest we pay on the money may vary, and it may not vary. Is that a real good way to bring it to y'all? Because
Do we-
nobody knows right now. But the state is asked an impossible task of 250 cities they released in March. And all 250 cities have got to get engineers, get all the work done, get the bids out, bids in, have a contractor working so he can make a first draw by July 31st. These plans got to go into Little Rock and get approved first. It's taking Little Rock 60 days to 90 days to get them back from there. These are dates that are not going to be met. But if they will let us come back in and sign a commitment, I told the guy yesterday, I said, I'm gonna sign a commitment for the money that we'll be complete in 3 years. That's not a problem on either one of them. But the start date of July the 31st, being that having contractors working, is not a possible date. We need to approve the memorandum of agreement for the water project and for the sewer project. There's two different ones, one for water and one for sewer. And just knowing that the interest rate is an argument right now. It may not be a problem, but it could be. Okay? I don't like to bring you something like that, but I don't know what else to tell you. We still don't have to do the projects. Every city in the state is under the same.
Let me break it down as I heard you. Basically, the state's making us do a certain thing, but the guidelines they set forth are incomprehensive. I mean, you can't comprehend the guidelines set forth because they're not doable. But they'll wind up, what will ultimately probably wind up changing in the end is they will say, okay, this is not conceivable to do this, so we're gonna kick this 6 months to give them a little bit of time or whatever. If we don't get in the pack, we wind up falling out. But if we get in the pack and they do extend it or make some kind of compromise, at least we're already in the pack. So, did I miss anything much? But the information's a little sketchy, but we gotta do it one way or the other anyway.
The only thing that's sketchy, it was sketchy period, because if you did take it to the deadline date, you lost your funding for
Right, and we can't
it.
afford.
They've already backed off of that.
Okay,
The funding source is there.
okay,
That's not gonna be in question. The interest rate
Right.
is the argument.
okay,
And we don't know how that'll affect anything, we don't know, and we may still get it for 1.75.
right,
Because he said before we got through, two things that when I talked to Andy about, Andy said if he'll do what he told you to do, you'll have no problem, because we'll commit that we'll have the project finished within 3 years. Because that's always been the stipulation when you took natural resource money, you had 3 years to get complete, and they didn't give you a half-day start date.
Can we give I mean, is this even an option? Can we, like, could we give an approval contingent upon an interest rate then or thereabouts what we think it's gonna be? Could we do something like that?
Well, what we need to do is approve these agreements and the engineers start working, and y'all will have to agree on the interest rate before we start moving forward.
Okay, so we got,
That's not a decision we gotta make tonight, even though it was promised 1.75, if it comes back at 1.75, y'all still gonna have to approve it. If it comes back at 2 or 2.5 or 3, just because we give a memorandum of agreement for the engineer to start work, it's gotta be brought back to you guys to approve the project.
Okay,
These
all right.
projects ain't going anywhere y'all approve.
we got
There's a
another
whole
shot
lot-
at the apple.
Well, you got, who's our attorney? That big stack of paperwork they bring in,
Yes, sir.
huh?
Dustin?
Friday Eldridge Clark.
Oh, yeah.
Right, yeah, right. They'll bring the paperwork down and they'll go over all this and y'all gonna, remember how we voted on all that to read it about, you're gonna do the same thing on both these jobs. When you get there. Also in the sewer project, if you look at everything, I gave you 5 pages of what is the first proposal. We cannot replace all the sewer mains for the money we got, don't need to. We're out looking at everything in green. I gotta give the engineer an answer of whether that's what we want to replace or not. my priority with the gentleman, with our city crews of what's in green, is it track pipe or is it clay pipe that's gonna be replaced? If it's PVC pipe, we're gonna have to go back and look at it. A lot of this got PVC pipe in it, so a lot of this is not gonna be work we do. Because it's got PVC pipe in it, the manhole pipe, there's no need to replace it. We had to have a start point of what would work. If we did everything that's in the green, we're supposed to be in the money. But if we don't do part of this, we can move to another part that could be another problem.
Well, this is not set in stone.
No, this is the starting work.
That's what I was looking over, some of this.
This is nowhere set in stone. We've got to get, and the city crews will, I've got them working on these 5 pages, they'll be through with that tomorrow, and then we'll tell the engineer we can start on that part of it, and then never have any more feet of pipe. And then when we get to the end of that, we don't need to borrow the full amount of money to do this project, we haven't got as much pipe to be replaced, we won't borrow the full amount. That makes sense. Okay, any other questions on memorandum of agreement?
It looks like we don't have no choice, to me, it looks like we don't have no choice but to make a motion to approve the MOA and start it moving in the right direction, and then we always, there's a spot or two we could check back if we have to.
Correct.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
Make one motion for the water, and a second, then we make one for the sewer.
No second.
Roll call.
Aye.
I just walked in, so now I don't know, man. Sorry.
And then just start working
Oh.
on it.
All right, do I have a, motion to accept the memorandum of agreement on the water project?
I'll make it motion.
I have a motion, do I have a second? This is work we've already approved, you just got to get a memorandum of agreement signed so the engineer can legally go to work on it.
I'll do it.
And second by Alan. Terry Brady.
Aye.
Chris Ford.
Aye.
Alan Moore. Jimmy Buck.
Nah.
All in favor? Next thing on the agenda is something y'all need to tell me. Some of y'all have talked to me about wanting to try to do some paving this year. I talked to, Rock Creek that did the work last year. He wants somewhere between $200,000 and $300,000 worth of work for it to be just off him moving equipment down here. He will come price it and price it just like last year's, bid that he did the work for on the state bid. The 2 roads that have been brought to my attention, now, we already have a grant application in to do County Line Road in First Street. So we don't want to bother those. Those won't be done this year, they'll be done next year. Because we should get the grant. Brenda, wasn't there like 3 applications, is all they didn't fund? So we'll be top on the list of that funding. We'll get the street grant next year. If y'all want to take some money, you have to do this, you have to take money out of your CD that you lose on the 4th month. If you want him to come down and give you a price on the 2 roads that have been brought to the attention that's worse shape right now is Hilltop and Republic Lane. The rest of them can be patched. I know we got, county line's bad, but it's gonna get next year. You don't wanna look at doing that. If you do, it's gonna be over your budget, you'll have to take money out of your reserve. That's up to y'all. Y'all just need to tell them they need to work on it. If you don't work on it, that don't bother me. But those, and you got another road.
Hilltop's gotta have some help, County Line's gotta have some help in the near future. Republic, I have not actually seen it, but
It's
I'm
pretty
assuming
bad.
it is.
It's terrible. It's horrible.
If there was something else you wanted to look at, if y'all wanna do this, y'all need to tell me what you need Jim to look at, and he'll measure the footage up, and we'll bring the price back. If y'all wanna do that, that's up to y'all, because this is gonna be taken out of your reserve, it won't be taken out of your budget for this year.
Most of the time, what will that price get you?
I don't know. I'll have to get him measured, because I don't know the square footage in the road. The public's pretty good long, the public's pretty long.
It's pretty long.
At one point, the state was actually putting it down cheaper than we could buy a load of it for on
He
some
said he'll work with
projects.
us on what the state bid was last year.
Yeah.
Now, that's up, I can ask Ethan how much that's up, But he's looking at these bids coming in, and I'll give you price of tonnage, just like we did last year, and we'll look at what his bid was. And I'll go to the state and make sure we're staying there.
Yeah.
If
What's your
y'all wanna
thought?
do it that way, if y'all don't wanna do it that way, I'll tell you what you wanna do. If you don't wanna do anything, that's fine.
What's your thoughts, Jimmy?
Well, the
I mean, all
two,
he's gonna do, basically, now we're gonna prove something, give us a quote, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if we do it, we'll.
And if you do it, you'll have to take money out of your CD that renews on the fourth.
I make a motion, we get a quote, that'll give us time to think about it.
Y'all, and if y'all want, do you want any other streets in those two looked at? Those are the two worst besides County Line and county, if we don't wanna mess with the bid on County Line, because we've already got a grant application in for it, we don't wanna change that. And we're at the top of the list on getting that funded next year. I really would like you not to bother County Line because we'll get that grant and we can do that work next year on County Line. And you could wait on this and put it all with that bid next year.
Besides that, your brother lives down that road when it won't pave his road.
Can we push this off to the next meeting?
As far, well, I can get the guy to get you a bid. You know,
Yeah, I mean, just a
Yeah.
bid,
Yeah.
but not approve it. You know what I mean, you know what I'm saying?
We're not
Not,
gonna prove it, do it, but I'll bring you a bid back.
Yeah.
well, I'm just saying,
I'll-
that gives me time, I can go look down
I'll
the road.
I'll second his motion on the bids.
Motion for a quote.
I'll second it.
Yeah.
And if there's more roads than that you want to look at, you need to tell me, so I know.
Before
what
he
to
comes
do
down.
and so
Yeah.
Well, if he's gonna be here,
Huh?
he's gonna be here.
My thoughts was once we got the quote, about if we were gonna move forward with it, is like you were saying, whatever, we could look at some different streets and say, okay, yeah, because I know they have to move their equipment and everything, we could say, yeah, we'll give you the job, but we want this quarter-mile stretch done along with the 1 mile stretch.
You're gonna get the cheapest quote to tell him what all you want. up front,
Exactly.
So he knows
Yeah,
how,
right.
because moving costs is a cost in there.
That's my idea, yeah.
And if you want more than those two roads, I just need you to tell me, if you want him to come down and do it, I need you to tell me what you want him to look at.
Well, you let us know before he comes and we'll have the
Well,
roads
y'all
by
need to
then.
get me a list, because he said right now, I could, not tomorrow, but he said before summer gets here, when he goes to pea graveling, he ain't got no time, because he does all the pea graveling he can do for all the counties statewide, and he quits paving when pea gravel season is. He said right now between them pea gravel time, I have some time I could pay that's open right now.
Okay.
He pays between the window now and, what is it, July, when we start pea graveling, and they got a July and August is only 2 months of pea graveling. He's chipping seals for all the counties statewide.
I second it.
All right, so we got a motion and a second to go forward. Everybody. Bill Clark.
Aye.
Chris Wolf. Alan
If y'all got any other roads that need to be looked at, y'all need to let me know, okay? Sir,
What needs to be.
that's what possibly could need to be replaced on sewer. That really don't help you unless you know, that's all the sewer, that's not all the sewer lines in town, that's just all the areas that we identified as first need to be checked, because it's the main trunk lines and where we know some truss pipes at. If all that, there's some of that's gonna come back to being replaced. Back when, I guess Austin was mayor, back when, Cecil was here, they did some sewer line replacement that there was no paperwork done on. If you go out there and pull manhole covers on, I don't know where it's at. And then there's some of the stuff that was on the truss pipe that has had to be replaced without work showing it's been replaced because you had a section of pipe bad, the
Yes.
city's replaced some of that, and we're having to check all that. We're not just gonna go out there and replace sewer main because it needs to be replaced. Yeah. It won't go right through your house, but it's gonna be right up in the front yard where the line main is today. If that needs to be replaced, I think that's clay pipe right there, and I think that will be replaced. If it's clay pipe, it's coming out of the ground, because it's 70 years old. And whatever that's been replaced, Now, if you got a section from one manhole to the next, a 300-foot section, but you got a half a mile strip that's gotta be replaced, that'll probably be replaced because to get your grades right, they'll probably start over.
We're not gonna make you evacuate.
We're not, yeah. And I can't tell you right now, Mike, if all that's been replaced, it won't be replaced.
Wrong kind of gas.
I don't know, they've got that's the problem we've got. We've had a lot of problems where you have problems with a section of pipe, instead of getting the engineer to come engineer it, they just wouldn't replace it through the years. So you got some stuff replaced that's not showing to be replaced. So we'll go check it, and then we'll evaluate what's gonna be replaced. There's no need in spending money where we got good pipes. We don't need to borrow the money.
Some of our water and sewer was conceived at the round table at the Lux, is what you're trying to say?
No, that got redone. When it got redone, rather than getting the engineer to redo it, they just did like a manhole to manhole, replace that section. To me, there's no need to get an engineer in that, but then when you come up to a time of what's been done and what hasn't been done, gotta go be looked at again, because nobody remembers all that. Okay? All right. We have some people supposed to be here on the park committee, and they're not here yet, but we want to do the park committee.
Let's use that 5 or 10 minutes for executive session on personnel right fast. If we can. Or you will not.
All right, fine, y'all got something on personnel? Yeah.
Let's do that.
Make a motion.
I'll second it.
Aye.
We'll be back. We got parks and stuff to talk about here in a minute. That's the door, look. Ready to go around.
Y'all would all be riding in. I'll be riding in.
I believe they're gonna go through and check them all.
Oh, you're free.
You know, they're gonna go through and check them all, and because they have that pipe, you know, the clay pipe and stuff, if it doesn't have that, they've already replaced that, and they won't have to. But, again, if they only replace a little small section of it, and the rest of it has to be replaced, they'll have to replace all of it to be able to get the flow going down.
Somebody executive session. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Next house over.
yeah.
All over the past one. So there's like 5 houses, including brand new lines back there.
Yeah, that's what the problem is, that's why we got that project, you know, because of all that pipe they put in, it's supposed to last forever, it fall apart.
Use the backhoe to get that in there and just put it in the new pipe. And as soon as the backhoe just barely makes it in the ground about that far, it's like a fresh one.
Yeah,
So we have to go simulate for a while.
well,
They can work at it really fast. And then that next door, they can put in a great facility from his house out to the street. Now, I don't know if it's that big. Small backhoes or small tractors.
yeah,
They've got the land in his house all the way out to the end, right up to the street. They just capped it off. And, wait until somebody. I thought, there's no reason for you to put in, you know, a line over here and then have somebody come and connect you. I mean, you gotta be able to plug, sure, but put it in place on it.
yeah,
All this stuff's gonna come up. And that, when they redid the addition of the house, the driveway, the southern edge of it, from there, on down to the next door, they didn't replace it, from there on down to the next door, and just put it in the park. And when they scraped it all out, they shut off the, closed off the drain pipe I had off the heating. It was all full of, all of them stuff, all the leaves, because it's like, what you doing?
yeah.
And I gotta go out there and fight it, and it's being around it, and smoking like crazy. Just so that it grows. filled in that line, so I know we're just gonna do it. I'd rather had it done, you walked off and let, just lay the pipe in there, snap it, later, put the road on. Maybe you do that in California, but you can't do that here.
Well, out here, what I've learned, you know, we had everything buried in Arizona, you know, but we had to bury it really real deep because it wasn't that cold. Out here, it's a little bit different, because it'll get cold.
You heard of the,
Four outdoor pits in there. And food block. Yeah.
Put it in the sidewalk, put it in the
Feel
sidewalk.
like- What?
And then one section, I have a house across from me.
It's more than-
I just, I told her like 2 months ago. When we first moved up here about 2 blocks, it's a wall.
Is it recently?
It's without this mark address.
Yeah, well,
And I don't know if
the
it's
concrete,
go down 84, I think, like.
yeah,
You go
Yeah,
way,
84 is
you go really, really far and you turn by, the gas station and they still.
That's, I was,
Okay, so then there's a little, turn right and there's a gravel road called,
really.
but it's far out there, but it's the closest you can get to Lake, the river. Like it's the closest. Indian River. You know what I'm talking about? So they have like.
my family all around that neighborhood.
They were in the budget, they were cheap.
They started
And I think that's when it used to happen.
leans forward.
But like, I'm not wrong.
You ain't keep,
It's just a matter of right.
Well, one's back here, they put a sleeve on the sidewalk for mailbox. That's what I saw.
I suspect you'll do that.
Well, they made that over there.
I have a friend that wants to move here and I'm looking.
It's just
For a house for him.
Hired that for a while.
And
That's-
he, yeah.
Right.
Assistant living in nursing.
They thought he was.
Then you go up to school from there, then you go back.
Not as much as one, he was here like,
If they come out, you like
I like it here, but I don't want all my people to come.
What's your recommendation?
I moved away from y'all.
What's your recommendation?
Following you now.
Yeah, I moved away from y'all.
Anything about
I
it?
can't find, he doesn't want to go on it. And a friend of mine,
Where's home?
he doesn't want any,
Where it
he
is?
doesn't want a whole lot of yard, and he wants 2 or 3 bedrooms, yeah. That's what he said, so I can find anything for him, because every time something goes up, but he doesn't want, I said, you want to live, you don't want to live, you want to live in a yard, but you don't want to live in, like on a city garden, you don't want, I would, well, you can't find that.
We retired,
I said, you go find.
I retired before I came out here, and I wasn't planning on working that hard.
I got family, friends here.
And then you got 2 grandkids coming, so we just wanted to be home. Yeah. Well, it's a lot of work, you know, for it to be, for it to stay running, we have to be there all the time. And we were tired of being there so much. I like those, you know. We try to take a couple steps back and let employees, you know, do a little bit more, and it just wasn't working out. We needed to be there, so we decided we didn't want to be there.
Always, I'm in the back, I'm in, you know where I'm at, I'm in the back. That's Alan. Look,
Yeah.
every time I find, oh, why?
Cleaned out most of it.
Like, I was on my, I have an old Evo car, it's old, it's the state.
The building was there
So
before I started.
I was like, wrong. The whole olive place up there, I was like, oh, yeah. So I looked under, it
Yeah.
was a hose. It was a big like fire hose And then I was.
You know, there's other places,
They've been there 3
big
years.
enough for me.
I'm not gonna talk about.
Just fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know,
Really?
I was walking there. Right.
Very good cold, huh?
It was turned over though, the children had played, go slow or something like that. And I'm like, I didn't know what it was, because it was, the metal tin on one side. I was like, oh, please. And look, and
That was
look,
not enough.
I didn't know
Because they wouldn't run the fire breaker, they said, you know.
he left well, too, I mean, he left.
There's a lady
He
who
had
did
to
help
help.
them.
Oh, I bet.
Put things up on the wall to try to cut the too. And they said, what if I was a business card? Because he didn't work.
Yeah.
So they started to build up. The guy who was doing the renovation thought they had a half a day gas. He didn't figure that out. It was not. The one weekend where it dropped down to about 80.
Yeah. Oh,
I had a chosen ice.
What did they do?
They didn't break?
They moved to,
The fire next room over, I thought one thing to and I went back and I wasn't was split. We turned the water all over it. And so I started fire. It's just like a sleep.
Yeah.
Like that one that slept on the one side. Really good.
I get this side, this side.
I gotta look at that, everybody tell me, I knew
There's
what
a
this
need
one
for
was.
5 burner stove on concrete stuff. So he just leaves it off. You can get, I was like, they don't. They used to go in there, it's like 35, 40 degrees outside. It's like, so you know,
They didn't, see, they didn't even have to do.
I noticed that they only get 2 of that.
But they said,
Hey, it's for the first free.
yeah,
really?
everything was set. So I
Barely
called
see
the
it.
resident.
So I went down to the fire department, the ones up there,
I went
they
from
were
this
really good.
to fire.
Oh, I know with like the dogs, we're trying to figure out how to keep them warm during the winter time. They got a whole bunch of little heaters that, they don't work that good, you know? They don't really warm that much up.
I'm still not back.
And I told Lisa's meeting, I don't know, this last Saturday, everybody was talking. Yes. Because they went to
And then you gotta go
bed.
down on that driveway.
First ask the phone, so all that.
No.
And drop down.
That's the one, that White House in the third.
Because the lady said, we can put it down, if it might take a week.
Because we found it looked at it, and all, we got set in. Crazy.
That's what it is, literally.
And the extra was on, all that. And I told
I
her,
lost
well, we got clothes on this house, and I was on the
recent calls,
and the good
we moved all the pictures.
You'll video, we need to go look at it before we go down.
You, the half the.
So we drove back up, we were in to a
All the rest of it is still later.
So,
Oh,
we walked in
Right.
there, and it was the one that served on the cover.
I use my phone, you know,
I'm not
I
living
get
in that.
mixed
Neither not
to be.
living.
right. It's like fall.
Something bad. I got chills when I went in that house. I know y'all probably.
I know it's last one.
And he said, we're gonna lose money on the appraisal. I said, I don't
Yeah.
know. Something bad happened with
It
house.
took her longer.
And then I looked at the bill and said, the paper said this is a three-bedroom house. Where's the third bedroom?
So,
Let me tell you, they have a hall, they have clubs, out of master bedroom. I had to walk like this, she wasn't getting furniture, but I was up to no good. I had to walk like this, I couldn't walk like this, because that little walk like this. No, they didn't. I said, something bad happened in that house. I'm not, we are not.
Oh,
Did he die?
they all went to.
and it wasn't,
Something bad happened.
When you, go to sit down,
So,
Yeah.
Hey, Lowe's.
yeah.
Oh.
You should go in there.
About
that, the house, the
I
very.
call it in the valley,
Where do you live in our?
at the very end.
Kinda does this. You know, so any woman really. All down the line?
It's, no, it's a house, it's a, they might have had, I think they had a mobile home there before, it's a house, because my light bill says that it's a home, but it's a house.
Yeah, that person cleared that property down there.
Mine,
Yep, there was,
Busted.
we went down there at one point,
and they,
somebody.
I gotta call the insurance or whatever, you know, the phone company has,
Was out there running around in the
and
woods.
they send you somewhere, so they may, something there.
Yeah, there was, when that piece of property very clear, it was, had the whole propane tank out there. That's it.
You know, yeah, this is a long time.
I thought it was one on top of the candy talking about it. No, because it's the Alvarez that they did first, I think they probably got them over, because they built it. And then
Sunday,
the Alvarez. So,
First off, I'm
Seventy years old.
that's why you do it.
Lot. They're all in, but there's one big one.
That's the biggest one.
Big one. That's the only one I saw, but they come out, they just pick, they're going to play. It's one that,
Huh.
they don't allow them to put a pool.
I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Just kind of go down.
That's, they come down, they come out of Rome, they just come in a couple of years.
They work on computers.
They all come.
Code, and go to the house, the White House, over there. Big place.
Yeah.
I bought that third photo.
So, every time I find
Yeah.
every time, it's like,
It's,
it's gold, it's a penny, and I'm like,
Right.
and just tell her, keep an eye out on whatever. Yeah.
Oh, I got this house, you know, and she's putting on a couple houses, and where you pursue it. And I'm like, well, I called it, oh, they're going about it, and then it was turned around one day, I was doing this, and that was another, and that's, I appreciate it. I didn't wait on, it was sold, I mean, the same day. Rental.
I see that on Facebook, like, I'm looking for a food that we should, like,
There's not enough rentals.
Call.
You know, I want to do a full
is there, you know, when you see
Right.
those places that little tiny place on the corner, am I in over there?
I don't know.
I've never seen the inside.
I gotta get them to change that tree or.
Trade on outside, you know, it's all things.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I take pictures of it.
And that's, I've always, I tried it one time.
Yeah, I don't get
I
that.
got a picture, but it, at one, like, it always stays up there for a week, it was fine. It was up there for about a week, it was like last year, and I took a picture
Sits
of
on
it.
the table over here. So, they,
And I did it on it, and I said, because I think it was, I was thinking, maybe I should.
Each alarm, when you set, you know how to
See,
set
I
your
feel
alarm?
like I could.
Well, just when you're setting your alarm, you know how to set your, each alarm, you can have a different noise, you know.
Like, I was renting a house at, the corner of the one.
And so it's funny.
And I paid,
They had to get,
I think.
Yeah.
but it's not, it's done right.
Which is,
Yeah.
that's
Look,
not,
that-
well, yeah,
that-
but I don't really like the neighbors, you know what I mean, it's, see like the corner, I mean.
So, this road that they had.
Yeah.
It was, the kids that aren't getting washed.
When it rains, it's a little.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and like.
So, like,
Good something.
That
I
house,
go set my
I
alarm.
told my landlord, I said, I think.
you know, once I set my timer, where it says sound right here, that's the noise it's gonna make.
My
You
girlfriend
know,
was
it'll tell me
sharing
all
how
these different that's your alarm.
And I ain't got one set, you know, so I would.
Yeah, that's your alarm.
I crank it all,
The ring's gone.
come back and it's ready.
Okay.
And I was like, they said, I was off the money. I think this man would be able to do it. I don't know. Everything they all.
No, it's just go out. Yep. So now that's where your alarm's gonna do that chime. Okay, and then push that button again. You go to settings. And it'll be somewhere about. Go to ringtone. And then go back in and find out why. No, that should be the way.
You want to ring it down, I'm just going to start doing the same thing.
Could be set.
Like I said, I'm going to do something. We're ready. We're ready to come back. Yeah, I mean, it's, they're not a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's not a big deal. You know. It's just one of those. We're fixing to buy a house.
Yeah, they run them back on. That's good. Yeah, yeah, they changed them a little bit. When they come there, yeah. Well, no, it looks like that.
It's close, you're not going.
No, now, not all the way. Get ducks on your phone.
It still needs all the work.
It's a low personnel center.
Yes, it is.
And we had a fire, the school kids were coming.
I don't know.
We painted the pavilions are all repainted. Actually, go all the walls and all the I think they lost it. I got the number.
Oh, okay.
I know. Several numbers. Just one of the.
That's one of the one thing I said, am I in November or then, like, what?
It had, it had the engine went into the.
Yeah.
No other station?
That'll be a pretty good plan.
They can't say man. I didn't want to say that to you.
Yeah, I mean, and it's the thing, I mean, that's what you do now.
She wants me to go back there.
But I think that
Go
they tell
visit.
you, like, there's no mirror, what's that, because they can't have a mirror. And they were open, could you stay open? Could you go out?
Yeah.
I know the rent car,
Here in Toby.
rent car, pretty good.
Some regulations, you had to set aside the life. I couldn't have it after every use. He was just recording. Yeah. Yeah, how do you, you gotta have some standing of life. So we locked them up. They all had food and nice locks on them, places all in good over here. And it's just.
Well, now we were in New Orleans, I was,
What part of California?
I'm just here, that, and, but we had a lot of talk back then, because people would, the kids would go there all late at night and make stuff good.
That's the same thing. A little bit just like the light. There's
If they're like,
that's why you put this. This is all turned off. Well, it's, there's a lot of like.
Well, I lived in Utah for a while.
Lit up. And you're out there. All.
Yeah.
you would think that
consistent and slowly.
Football season begins, we know it, we will practice, so yeah, it's just get a lot of back going. Not as much as it's still up.
She's not gonna leave there.
It used to be here, but it's, and we also went through those days where we were just walking in the bathroom at night, taking a whole lot, and it worked. It worked so, you had to go in and drop it, and it's my best friend. And then we were back in the work, so it's all that one.
When she stands up straight, she's focused, she's.
Oh, they're not here.
She used to be a school.
I don't know how many times. My God, little wife is honestly, but they go every morning to that drag out and all that part.
She was working for my sister. This lady looked like me and her.
Or if you're slugging it out,
He was basically a golf shop.
that's why there's.
In this back
That
now.
was in there now, not.
And she'd stay here out of her.
Broken off the wall, all over.
I had one of them. Whatever time we went on, I think I really asked her to call. Her idea was, no matter what you said, the person should be out there.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be there, but it's just.
Well, and that's, I mean,
It took a while to
we
get
got custom
custom
dogs up there, you know, our biggest deal.
Yeah, that's the reality. I have, in Arizona, I have a lot of nosebleeds, it's so dry. You know.
I don't think anything there, and bolts, wires, pumpkins. Can't drive down there, so they got to haul it all the way down there. Now, if you go, when you go into the park, you know, if you go around the backside of the road, very black. If you go, there's two roads, there's three roads. Yeah, there's three roads after that. When you come in, you know, you go like you go around the park. There's one road that goes straight up, that goes up to the road. And then, turn around. There's another road right here, that goes over here, and that goes to one part, it also goes to the water. All the way to the very back.
And right outside that is
They run straight up the hill. It's right there, you just go up the hill, it's part of right up in there. It's all the way. It's 100 yards. It's the right 100 yards.
Yes. Just go and find a place where the kids know.
All the grass in there to shoot it. My guy, I got to get down there in the back. He was coming back, this one crazy, it's like, they're going on stuff. So, I mean, it's one of those, like, that kind of thing.
Hey, so, on that note, seriously, a couple of years ago, they shut it down, right? And I hurt my feelings. I like to go for it, but I have my own park that I put up there, and I bring it back. Why can't the city put a lock, combination lock, and then eventually make people pay, you know, a yearly fee?
I think it's,
Kind of dangerous,
yeah, it's down,
you know, but if, you know, I mean, they pay a yearly fee, like a membership almost, you know what I
I
mean?
think,
Because anybody can go up there right now,
yeah.
and that's the problem. And there's people that care about it.
And we've been, when we talked about building, you know, permits, not permits, stands forever.
No rims and bikes, you go there, but they're still gonna get shot at, just don't get.
They're either
Yeah,
gonna do
but
one, or they're gonna
still,
build.
they are 500 stuff, you know, is what my guy is, good, but mile still, depending on what you're shooting at it.
Exactly.
And
even if you could try,
But then
like,
people get to go to someone else.
yeah, and then you've got everybody recovering. And, you know, it'd be nice if you could rent the range out for that. You know what I mean? Like, hey, we plan on going, you know, shoot Saturday, or we just like to do the beauty center. You don't necessarily, I mean, I don't know, you can't charge on that, can you? It didn't guarantee.
Man, I don't know, we have to look at the rig and fish, it's kind of like the, cussing down here.
Yeah, they charge us for good. So, I mean, if you could,
Oh, well, we.
or even pay the deposit. You know what I mean? You put so much in there, and then if we show up, after you rented it, then.
There's always, you always have,
people come in there and things like
They
that.
gotta come up and walk it.
but you always have an officer on duty. I mean, you can believe it. They call Pike County Dispatch and say, I need an officer
That this, how long dispatch going
to
Sometimes I go there for.
unlock it.
Yeah.
And then he makes sure all the officers that are working there, and that officer on duty, they go unlock it, and they go lock it back. Surely they're not gonna shoot past dark, I mean,
Well,
you know.
Nice street, you know.
The oncoming officer at Ford can tell the outgoing officer at Ford can tell the oncoming officer
Well,
at Ford,
it
hey,
needs
you
to
got
be
guys
like
in
the
the
other part,
lock them up.
that needs to be locked down there.
I think you need to put a gate test for, honestly.
Oh, trust me, yes,
The,
please.
the range needs to be locked down, sorry.
Because when it floods, I ain't been excited about it before, but I used to go down and put barrels out for, after the park, to keep people going in there.
Well, there's people
They
that
drive around.
They just remove your barrels and drive in there anyway.
Yeah.
still walk.
It'd be nice, right before that man's driveway, if we had an iron thing right there, before we could lock it
Just
down. Just like an iron gate, or something, every escape.
You know, just put one across there. That, to me, would, you know, cause that part would be a lot nicer. And I'd clear a lot more out. And even that new bridge harbor, I'd clear a lot more land out and make it a lot better. But it gives too many places for people to hide, for them to just be able to.
Yeah, cause see, I drive up in there now where you walk, clear all that out.
Well, I mean, if you, so we talked about this a while back, because if you go, there's a trail going underneath the crest. The city owns that sandbar all on the back side of it, all that property.
That's the one of the right back side of it, where the.
And if you go underneath the
water.
trestle,
Yeah.
and on the back side, there's a huge sandbar back there, that the city owns. We own all that property. And all you gotta do is clear out a good trail, but you need to, you'll have to make it where you can't get hit or something. You know, but if the park's open at whatever time, you know, like it is now, it's open for folks whenever. They're gonna have to go back there and figure out where everybody's at. You know what I mean? They're not gonna end up walking back there and
So
saying,
we also, city parks is full contract. Yeah, there's no reason why.
that, I mean, you don't.
But, we don't have a parking lot guy, you know what I mean, so your office kind of.
Well, we had it for a while, it was what y'all walked at night.
Yeah.
And we opened in the morning. And what we regularly check every park in the morning already. So it's at dark, an officer rides by, locks the gates, locks everything up, and then it's closed for the night.
There's do some walking in there.
No,
Yeah, but there's not that many, there's walking through there. Now, on the city part, even though it's closed at dark, we don't get on them when we watch them walking at night, because they're walking, they're not. But we're watching, the chief's telling us, because in the past, we've had kids wanting to go out with a four-wheeler, a little bitty small, and they're doing donuts.
Yeah, cameras don't really do this, so, you know.
Come on in.
Yeah, we knew you were coming. This is my sister, I don't know if y'all know her.
Of course, it's,
Been a lot of help. But I mean, I think, I agree with you, this is on sign, but just, one thing I can think to do is put a sign up, it's street project funding. But it's kind of like putting a sign up.
Everything else up there.
yeah.
Even got started.
And, well, it's not gonna be long, you're gonna have to re-advertise.
put a simple iron gate.
And it's the
Put
thing,
a pole there that has a lock on it, you know, so they have a combination, slide it in, people get a combination of keys or whatever. But it makes it easier to carry trash back there if you have access, so like that fishing, leash one right
Oh,
there.
yeah.
I won't go there because I had to carry my cargo all the way down that walkway, and it's too much. You know, so this one's easier for me, more convenient, I take the truck down there, cut the carcass up, drive back.
Well, there for a good while, it used to be a lot. They had keys to them.
Yeah.
and I mean, it all goes back to, we could have nice stuff.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
If we wouldn't carry that. And that's, you know,
Oh, that, it
Does
was,
that mean, like, I've got the rim, and I've got the
Like
metal.
I said, there's no way, that's, you know, so I went there one time, had a hole in down that sidewalk, it's fast. You know, and really, people only hang out that lane for just a little bit, then they, you know, run out of ammo and leave. You know, I feel like the people that would, you know, pay for the donation or get the key or whatever, they want, you know, to say nice, so, I mean,
They have a set for
if they're giving out the code, or.
It's free range to get up there, you know, and that's, look, why did they close it last time?
Because of the damage.
Because of the damage.
It was really damage.
I mean,
part just like that.
with the amount of trash that is hauling out of there, I mean,
They destroyed part of the awning and all that stuff.
Trash cans were down.
Yeah, the table, picnic table, they had started tearing it apart,
Well,
and then started shooting it up.
Like what their regular picnic.
Yeah, picnic table, they tore it apart and shot it out, and ripping the wood off of it.
don't see the same one that goes through for it.
You know, the
Right.
problem is, I've never gone up there that somebody hasn't came up there to check on it. You know, there's plenty of people.
But it definitely do something, because there's somebody there all the time.
I'm shooting up there, I've always had a car pull up and, go back down the thing. I don't know why that is, but,
They're due just be nosy.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, they know.
Or they hear fire, they hear firefighter and they want to go there. I want to shoot. Or who it is. It's one of their buddies.
I've had people come up every single time. People drive up, all kinds of guys, they don't want to drive.
They say it's time to work. Yeah, this room, quick room, all, it won't take 50 minutes to do it. Oh, yeah. Because you're on the file. I don't know, I done started on.
I mean, I get them this morning.
Well, I talked to Travis
Yeah, you come around.
last week.
Because he's supposed to be involved.
Well, he said something about they were short on them or something like that. It's hard to get out. He told me they'd come down and help the city park and the ball field. So,
I'm getting.
But, one more, any more than that, okay. Total, you know,
who's mowing out there?
if you have any more.
Somebody was there yesterday,
Now,
today.
you probably, if you remember, push them over, if you push them. Or is it?
No, it was a riding one. I mean, that's,
This is guy from Vegan, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He said he was calling, because he wants to put down this homework before he gets
we went to, we just left the road.
Well, with all that straw and stuff, why don't you have brush hog?
executive session for the papers note, or however they need to do that, or legally. It was just, tossing some personnel thoughts around among the council people, and that was the extent of it, as I see it. Is that right?
Talk about,
Yes, sir.
The motion come out of executive session?
I'll make that motion.
Second,
I'll second.
roll call?
for Luke made it, Jim seconded, Chris. 7:42, Craig Brady,
Aye.
Tim Clark, Chris Bullock,
Aye.
Al Moore. So, executive session.
All right, park committee. You good? There's been some question, with, all the league balls that are playing, about not having enough places to play in Linwood and not being able to use City Park. I want to get that cleared up, and I'm more than willing, I'd like to get a committee set up, working on, the biggest thing we got going on in that park is, ball players that want to play. I've talked to the school on the school's fields, and we can use those either, whoever the committee is, they want to use those, they can use those also. As well as the city park, we need to get some kind of organization, on the usage of those. Now, we need to really, I'd like y'all to let us get a committee, and then the committee set the scheduling for those fields. Once you've got T-ball, who all want to play up there? And, all right, huh? T-ball, softball, and
Baseball.
baseball. The baseball field, for those of you who don't know it, the schools, that was baseball and softball, right? Somebody went up there and burned the concession stand down, they burned the bathroom down. Well, we all knew about that. When it come to us, Brett and I went up there and mowed the other night. Field hadn't been mowed in 2 years. Guess what? They burned the bleachers down and they burned the dugout down. You got one dugout left up there. This is why having stuff up there where the kids roam around and City Park up there is a disaster for everybody.
I would like to say, you will recall our conversation that I've mentioned a time or two. I know we've talked about it the other day, but what I would like to see the city do, we co-op with Jenkins come to mind, to do a certain thing or whatever. I would like to see us, put it on our radar as a council that someone that uses the park on a regular basis, whether they be a 75, 80-year-old senior or 45-year-old person that jogs every day or something, figure out some kind of way to co-op with them, not as an employee of the city, but as a subcontractor, and we state in effect, we're gonna give you the keys to this place, and you're responsible for at least helping us look after this place. We're gonna pay you $500 a month or something, supplement your income or something, and not mow it, not weed it, not clean it, not anything, but just they use it, they're there, obviously gonna be there anyway, and then, we could figure out what was a fair amount, and then they would, at least, because more than likely, the 1% is screwing it up for the 99%. It's probably the same kids or the same people from the same family that's messing the stuff up, and then you get discouraged from a mayor's perspective or a council perspective. Well, we ain't got no more money in there because it's just all going to waste anyway. But it's ridiculous when, we're approving $1 million here and $1 million there, and we can't put a net up, we can't do a few little basic simple things. In fact, my kid, senior at OBU, my middle one is, daughter, and she was talking just yesterday about how fun pickleball was. And then I know your church groups, a lot of your church groups around here would love to use our parks if this park appears in a little bit better shape. But it don't really, the complaints that I've heard from over the course of a few years have not been that we need this and we need that. They've been just basic complaints down to probably you could have took $500 and fulfilled all their needs, nearly. And it's just the same old, like they put a net up, somebody jerks the net down. They put paper in the bathroom, somebody takes the paper out and makes a net, And so I don't know if that right person's out there or not, but it's possible they are. So that's just a thought.
What what do you think? Okay, who's doing the youth association? Board of Supervisors? But they're using Amity's facilities, and they're not doing anything with them. Right? So, y'all just using Dunwood, Dunwood Park for the T-ball right now. Would you be willing to get a group to talk and come back to us and make a presentation of how y'all want to use that? The council's not gonna have time to go up there and do all that. I mean, as far as getting it mowed and that stuff, we can do that, I think, and if you bring me a list of, I need $5,000 worth of stuff done, that's probably not gonna happen this year, but, you know, there's ways to get things done if we use those fields without spending as much money right now.
When I was over the Caddo River Baseball Association, we used it too. The only stipulation was we just kept the trash picked up, and we let, you know, we did our own scheduling, and it was mowed by the city.
You talking about the ball field that is the school's ball
Well,
field?
no, we used the park too.
Well, I understand that. I mean, I could have swore I seen T-ball people out there playing
Yeah.
here the other day.
I have no problem with them playing down there. I think they need to.
Yeah.
I talked to the school board voted last night. The baseball field, all the fields up there, you got those on the left as you go in, it's never been fully developed, but you could pay some T-ball on those, and the baseball field, they're ours to use.
Oh, the ones in front of the old school?
In the old baseball
Yeah.
field. The school's not gonna put any money in.
It's got backstops up there already.
The backstop's good. There's a backstop up on that one, on the left, there's a backstop or two up on those little T-ball fields. that
Mhm.
they're gonna, if we could get y'all to, I mean, they could be clean and usable. They're not, I mean, I'm not saying the city's got money to go up there and spend thousands of dollars on it. We don't have that. As far as keeping them clean, that's not, we have talked to the county and they're willing to let the 609, is that what it is? Come up some and help us on the parks to get them cleaned up and used. They're gonna do that. Don't have a date yet, but Travis has said he's gonna work some dates out with us. So getting them cleaned up and usable is something very doable. We need some organization other than sitting at this council meeting and tell y'all how to use it. We can't do that, right? But we're more than willing to listen. If y'all bring us something and get a committee together and come to us and tell us, let's start working, I think we can do something.
School's property.
You think you can get another group back? I know you kind of got caught on the spur of the moment because your brother made you come up here.
We can't do that.
Yeah, I do think that's.
If y'all would get a plan together, that being, the school has gave permission to use their fields, they're not ours, but they gave permission to use those fields, and they said that in the minutes, they said, do we need to put that in the city of Glenville's got permission to use them, or the association? I don't care how you put it, the association is the one who wants to use it. But the school's open to that. They're not gonna go up there and spend a bunch of money on it, but we can use the field. If somebody wants to make improvements on it, I mean, you could use that, one of the trees, when they burn the building down, burn a tree down, it's on the power line down the first base line. I think that could be put back up, but even if you didn't put it back up this year, roll the wire up, hang it up on the pole, start using it again. It hasn't been used in 2 years.
Yeah, we used to
There's no
mow it
need to
too.
spend a bunch of money on it till you see if you're gonna use it, but clean it up, start using it this year, look, come up with a better plan for next year.
Are y'all wanting to use the park too? Is that what you're after?
They're using the park right now, right, for the T-ball. We're using that for the T-ball. But there's not, nobody
love
said
to
they've
see
got
our
time to use it and all that, and I
Well,
think,
the main thing with T-ball really can be anywhere in sight, honestly, if they will. But our baseball and softball are only going to end because they have the rights, they'll have the field, the base, all that stuff, and they won't double come to the park and do things because they practice late at night. So they don't have anywhere, so the whole schedule, these kids are out until 9 o'clock at night, practicing, when they should be asleep. All of them, but they're fighting over this one field on certain days through time after school, especially from school coming out later. So if they had another field or any other field, it would break it up a little bit and at least some of these people could go home.
you can, if y'all will get back with us, I'll go run a city mower after hours. mean, I think I can,
Yeah, but if we're talking about up there at the school, the only thing we can do up there
Mow.
is just mow and weed eat. I mean, we
Right.
can't go up there and spend a bunch of money on bleach. It's not
No,
even our property.
I'm not asking that, if you wanted to use it, could y'all use it that way, just mowed and cleaned up and made usable? I mean,
They're just
because
wanting
that means
practice.
there's two fields up there on the school property that y'all can use.
They just need practice facilities.
Yeah.
And then if that needs to go further than that, figure out a way for y'all to get some funding to do some fundraisers and put some money in it.
To me, if you're gonna put a committee together and all, say, 3 different, I'd go to all your sports associations, and that would be the people that I would have on there, just pick a few out of each one. That's what needs to
I
happen.
talked to the president of Caterpillar Youth Association, and they had a meeting later this month, but they're definitely.
Okay. If y'all
If
can
I'm
get
not
with them and
mistaken-
get with the, what association that the Glenwood kids are in, Centerpoint, come back with a proposal to us and, I mean,
If I'm not mistaken, Billy, it's your job to appoint committees as mayor, and so you just need to get with her and appoint whoever you think on a committee basis, is the way I
we don't
understand
wanna do that. I'm fine with working with you, we just need to get something going. I mean, everybody keeps saying, I don't want any committees, guys, committees are welcome.
it. And the committee's gotta go through the council anyway, so.
Yeah. But there's some stuff to do to get those fields back usable without spending a lot of money. And then next year, if they need more done to them, okay, go up there and build a dugout. It won't take much to put the dugout box back up. It was about 8 4x4s and what, dugout 20 foot long, 6 foot long, 10, 20 foot long, put a roof back on it, and they could play safely up there. Wouldn't have any place to sit, wouldn't have any bathrooms right now. But, I mean, bathrooms can be put back up, but that's not us, the city's not got money to do that over there, but, I mean, there's ways we could work it. I mean, I'm a licensed plumber, if they wanted to use it, I'd go up there and have to do plumbing on it. You know, my time.
Diane's
Other
gonna
people would
kill you.
volunteer to do some of that too, if that's what they want. And then get back open, y'all just need to get back with us.
He's gonna plumb the old
So,
school.
next month, if y'all can talk to both associations and agent, and tell me what committee we need to appoint, get a committee appointed, get back.
In the meantime, you know, I need to ask, on my own time, if I were to use, to get that tree out, stuff like that, y'all be okay with me using the city for it to get, you know, the skid steer or something like that, to get that tree out?
There's about 3 trees up there that's burned, it's gotta be, they didn't fall down yet, but they're burned 3/4 away too. I don't have a thing. One of them fell already.
As long as the is it on the school stuff? As long as the school's
I
okay
don't
with
see
it?
why we can't
School's not-
volunteer some
school's
equipment
not
up there
gonna do
and help
anything.
I don't
take care of
either.
that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't see no
I don't
reason
see
we
no
can't
reason why we
either.
can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, it's time for my drum roll.
No, it's not.
Okay,
Oh, it's not?
No, it's
No.
not.
Oh.
all right, did I get that answered? Britt has got before you, and he's gonna have to explain what he's wanting to do. I don't know what it's about, but Britt's got something down there.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what this $124,000 is.
Britt, fire department.
So,
You're welcome.
as of right now, the fire department has, 4 SCBA packs, or 8 SCBA packs, which is what we use to breathe in the house fire. They're 8? 8. All the other bottles are back.
Just say we used to have 12 or
Yep,
14.
they're all over the pack. Every year, we're losing bottles because they crystallize inside, and like the survival air, can't hardly get parts from them, they're making them.
But what are we doing with our Act 833 money?
That's what I'm fixing to ask. This company will lease these bottles out, or we'll buy them, make payments on them with our Act 833 money. It'll come out to almost all of our Act 833 money, which is government grant money we get every year. That will go, we can turn around, I can put it towards that. I have to tell them what I want every year. I can put it towards that. And we'll use it for 5 years, for what it'll be. And we'll pay them $14 off, and we'll have brand new SCBA.
Well, $124,000.
That's the cheapest price we got.
We need 28 bottles.
Spare bottles for 14 packs. That's every slot we got on the truck. And for ISO, you gotta have, or have fire equipment, you gotta have all your slots full. of SCJ.
8 for 16, and what do you got on the other trucks? What's the other truck that y'all just got? How many they got on it?
5.
So it's 21, and then spares, you'll need.
And so, they say we have to have them for every spot on the truck?
Which, the 2 commercial pumpers, which is the 2 red ones,
Yeah,
they hold 3 people, but they've got 4 slots.
You got 4 packs on each truck, and then you got 4 spares on the truck. You got 2 on one side, 2 on the other.
Yeah.
That's how they are. That's how they're mounted.
And then the new truck carries 5, so it's got 5 SCJs.
and you gotta have 14 masks, because you have 14.
Let me ask you a question.
You can't just give
I
each
mean,
fireman a
you-
mask.
I know you're short everything, but you've got some of the other equipment that's still good. Could you do half of that, so you didn't have Ariak take 33 money for 5 years, and then come back to another 5?
And
Half of that
Are your
next
units
time?
bad, or are your bottles bad?
the units are all expired, but the bottles are still bad, which are not going to change them out.
So we just need to replace masks
Well,
and bottles.
but you've got half your packs are survival air and half of them are Scots.
I understand,
And-
we were trying to go towards survival air, but apparently it's,
And half your Scott packs are the old, you know, I'm talking about the wire ones?
I know.
So they're, what, 80s?
Gary was working on it, trying to switch them all out.
And we could do half and half, I mean, that's,
Do you have to have, I mean, if you buy, so you have to buy, what I'm getting at is, can you not just buy the mask, so many masks and have them where people just grab, or do you have to have one per bottle?
you
Your
usually have one
your
pack.
$6,000 is one complete unit. $6,000 a unit is what those cost you. That's the mask and the pressure regulator and the bottle, right?
Well, down here, no, it's saying that, right here, you're paying for 14 masks.
Yes, the masks are separate.
Also, okay, so you're
That's why I'm
buying
asking, can you not
$6,000,
buy-
You gotta have a $548 mask.
Because, I mean, you ain't gonna have 14 guys put a mask on and go in a fire.
No, but you gotta have one truck. You gotta have a mask for every
If you
pack.
got a spot for it, it has to be.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
Just how it is.
But if you had 7 or 8,
Yeah.
if you get 8 of them, how many trucks you got? 3 trucks?
Yep.
Put an equal amount of numbers on them and not do the full. That'd be my suggestion.
I mean, we can do that. I mean,
How many you got working right now?
One,
Good packs working.
Hey,
this part right here, it says the
and
holders too.
Question on the bottles, they're gonna have my bottles tested.
I got you.
I don't know what I'm gonna end up, but I get it tested.
Is this the unit that you put on your back, right there?
Yep, that's the bottle and the pack.
And the regulator?
No, that's just the pack, sorry. That's just the pack.
And regulator?
Yep.
It takes $6,268 plus $548 for one,
Scott's
Pack.
running that pack.
and then it takes,
Yeah, they got.
the bottles are $1,000 a bottle.
All right, before, have we looked into seeing if there's any grants for any of this right now?
We've applied for FEMA grants. That's the last 3 FEMA grants I've applied for. They've been for packs. Packs alone, just packs and Billy. I can't think of her name right now, but, there's another grant coming up through forestry that they're supposed to release, but it's only.
Forestry's only for your
It's
blower packs,
urban-
your
Well,
brakes,
it's
your.
a new federal grant, but it's only urban interface.
Yeah.
You can get a new fire truck with it, and it's 100% grant, but they're not gonna buy packs.
So if you have 8 right now, but you don't know how many, when are you getting tested?
They're up for testing. I just talked to the guy the other day, and I told him, hold off, because the more I take off the trucks, to have tested, unless I've got on, 3 over here doesn't have any packs on it at all right now. I'm out.
And this is the only person that you got was able to quote you?
No, I can get
That's the
stock
cheapest
packs,
one we
but
got.
they are way.
They're $3,000 more.
Yeah, a stock pack's running 3,000, and I think MSA is like another 2,000 per pack.
So we used to have MSO too.
Yeah.
Not MSA, but they're right there with Scott now, they've come up.
Let me ask you a question. What if you did 9, 18, and 9, and then you gotta have a 1 adapter? And that would cut that down to where you wouldn't tie it up.
They'll give you a little bit of slack in there.
What did we get last year?
What is that charging it
I
at?
mean, I've seen it,
What's
but
that
I don't
charging
know.
it at number?
Last
is?
year,
For half pressure.
Another department in file, we got.
To charge it.
Do what?
That's what our usual is, about 25, but last year we got 32. Because I think Kirby and Lodi didn't.
They didn't apply, no.
So, but if that's it, everybody in the county applies like they're supposed to, we average about 25 to 26,000 a year. So,
Nine will give you 3 new units on each truck.
yeah, I
2 new
mean,
bottles on each truck.
And we can survive with that. Right now, we got 8 units and we need 8, 13,
6.
14.
and that's the thing, is, I mean, like, FEMA grant, when you do FEMA grant, we were doing FEMA, I had to have 19 bottles. Or 19 packs, because you gotta have one for every seat of every truck with the fire department.
What about extra bottles? What do you have that's good now?
Right now, they just ended up pulling, I think, 3 bottles off into one survival days, because they're illegal.
Yeah.
So I've got 1 spare bottle for 4 packs, or 5 packs on the truck.
Basically splitting the thing, according to the way that I understand y'all, splitting the thing in half would at least buy some leeway.
It would get us some packs on some trucks, and we'd be able to fight fires, and we don't even know what we're supposed to. I would feel a lot more confident. I mean, that fire at we did a fire at Palestine the other night. They got in there and the regulator blew it, not the regulator, but the seal in the bottom blew out.
Right.
It was fixing to go in.
Right.
It's gotten to the point that I've stretched it as far as I've stretched.
We used to be able to send those bottles off and have them repaired till we
They're
started.
they're
They're just aged out.
Yeah, they're the date, I guess.
They don't.
Most of those bottles are running 05 to 07.
Okay. I understand.
Five.
There should be 4 units that's not that old though,
I know your MSAs aren't that old.
because we got them right before,
Yeah, your
I think,
MSAs,
been 6 or 7 years.
your MSAs aren't that old, but they're on the spare bottle. That's what Gary was carrying in his rig, and there was another one on another truck.
I say that, I say we try to split it up, and then we can do that 2 years in a row, and you'll be.
And I mean, I can turn around and, I mean, you've got like,
How much is the interest on these?
well, this is the total price. My choices are to either go to a bank or use their leasing company, and that's something else I have to bring up. I mean, it's a whole other, thing that you.
We usually couldn't finance the time period I'll have to check with.
Well, if you cut this back to 9, 18, 9, and 1, and go 5 years, you're still not affecting the city's budget, because you're still using his Act 33 money, which technically he can spend his Act 33 money any way he wants to without asking. That's the chief money.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't gonna do it without,
The Act 33 money is not in city's budget. And that's why he's asking to spend on it, but I would like to see him not pile.
We gotta do something, we don't really have a
I make
choice.
a
We gotta
motion, we do
something.
the half, split it down the middle, do the half, try to get
That's
some
gonna get you
quotes
back in operation.
according to that.
And you'll actually have a couple units extra.
Half is on the 7. You need 3 per truck.
What Billy said is what I'm making a motion for, because Chris act like that suited him, and to be honest with y'all, I ain't got a clue what you're talking about.
It's what you wear on, so you got something to breathe when you're in fire.
I know that we
It's
have
only
to
safety
stay
thing,
in
it's a big safety
compliance.
thing. You
It's a
can't-
huge safety
Don't
thing,
even
it's
go
not
in
a
the
big one,
building
it's a
without
huge
one.
one. It's gotta be done, but.
You've been on the fire department for how many years, Jimmy?
Mhm.
So you're familiar with the fire
Well,
department?
yeah, I mean-
He's familiar, I'm
Do I
not.
have a motion to do?
What you said, yeah.
9, 18, 9, and 1.
No, I need.
Yeah, wait a minute. I would like for you to get back with a little bit more information on this though. Whether we lease from them or whether we try to do another
Yeah.
route before we just do that.
That's what I mean.
I wanna know, because I don't wanna get into something that we're gonna have to pay 15% interest on. I'm just throwing a number out there, I'm just saying. We may have to go with a different company, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure your interest is going to be back.
Well, that delivery is kind of a pretty big variable
It
there.
won't take you very long to get that
I
information.
can have it tomorrow.
Said
And then your
tax
freight.
and freight
Oh,
to be determined.
To be
That-
determined.
That's a little bit too, how they figure their freight on the percentage, or they figure it on the, that's, so, yeah, some solid numbers based on what you said was what my motion was for. And then we can make a move.
If you're going to finance them, what's the percentage interest rate, so we don't have to pay
leasing companies are high, man. on
I'm not
leasing.
talking about that, he's talking about, they've got, Weathers goes to the bank and borrows money. You probably paying 5.5%, 6%, what the bank
It's
will.
gonna be 8, probably 7 or 8 now, I
Okay.
think.
Are you good with him borrowing the money at 8%? Can you do that in motion so?
If we can come down lower than the bank, I'm for it.
Yeah.
If not, we need to go with the bank.
Yeah.
As long as his interest rate doesn't come in over 8%, are you okay with that?
I am.
Okay. We'll put that in the motion and it'll be, he can do his job if that's what y'all wanna do.
It's fine, as long as they come in under the bank interest.
Stick it in the
Well,
bank, stick it in
8
the
or
books.
less, if it's over 80, come talk to me.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Fair?
Okay, we're gonna put that in motion. Yep, another motion. Have a motion and a second.
I'll second.
Motion second, roll call.
Gary Brady,
Aye.
Jimmy Clark,
Aye.
Bruce Willis,
Aye.
Al Moore, all in favor.
Yes, sir.
Joe Patrick, pickleball.
Yes, all right. Alan, you said your daughter wanted to come over here and play pickleball?
Do what now?
You said something about your daughter at Washington, she wanted to go play pickleball?
No, well, she had just recently been in a pickleball, playing pickleball Saturday with actually his niece. And they was talking about how they enjoyed it. That's all I
Well,
was
here's the
saying.
deal, I just need to give a little background, because this thing is going crazy. I grew up in a tennis family, we all played competitive tennis. I've never seen anything like this pickleball.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like everywhere. Anybody heard of the, Twin Oaks, pickleball farm? That's at Bismarck. They're building 4 outdoor courts and 1 indoor. Mulberry, Arkansas, is a little tiny town, got one of these small town grants from T-Mobile, they give them out all over the country, for stuff like that. And it's crazy, and the thing about it is people of all ages can play. I mean, the #1 girl player in the nation is 14 years old. She and her mother, and it's a double sport. They can play singles, but it's more popular because it appeals to all ages. Kay Reed is one that started at the Nazarene Church. They're playing right now. People have got hooked when they come over there, so they're opening that up almost every day to play. It could bring a lot if we could get, let me tell you, Kay and I got together, and she and I take a lot. Here's what she said. It's the fastest growing sport in America with 75,000 new pickleball courts this last year. Colleges are not only starting to play pickleball, but some are offering scholarships as well. There are several grants available to improve the community of small towns. Many of us still using that money towards 4 pickleball courts on the existing tennis court area would be a blessing to the community. In less than 1 year, our pickleball group has grown from 1 to 3 players to more than 40. Last time y'all had a meeting here, I was teaching pickleball over at the Church of Christ, and they've gotten started. Pickleball, the community and family activity, is not just something old people, retirees do in their free time. The age range in our group alone is from 10 to 86. I can verify that, I'm 84. So, and they're getting ready, the age, okay. A homeschool mom wants to learn with her son so he can start playing with the homeschool group. Private school will start teaching the game with PE as a class this spring. The rest of our kids go to Center Point. The activity is fun for all ages, and more families are playing because it's something they all enjoy. So we can get 4 painted courts over here on the front surface, and light blue balls to come on from dusk to 10 p.m. Best case scenario, 4 courts on a fully resurfaced base, 12 lights and a practice wall on the concrete area outside the fence. Those are things that she said that I agree with, we talked about. And you don't have to take any ground and let it fill with basketball or soccer fields or anything, just that concrete area over there. On that one tennis court, it's not used, you can get 4 pickleball courts. Arrowhead is changing their outdoor basketball court to pickleball. They got all the stuff to start doing that. Church, even the Seventh-day Adventist is going to get help doing that. The Brandsville out of Camp Chaffee, you have to line up to get on the court. They have 8 courts. It's just Mount Ida, hotbed, there's tournaments all over the place in Hot Springs. And it's been going on over at Hot Springs Village for over 10 years. I've talked to people from Maryland, they said, we came to live in Hot Springs Village because of the fact that it's at so many levels, and people all ages, like you said, in the 86 plan. It's a boom. I mean, I'd like to see it, kind of like we have the big bag thing, and have a pickleball tournament too. And they could bring money into the tournament. My son played the national tournament, and they have sponsors like this Wild Monkeys. You know, the Wild Monkeys is a new company in Oklahoma. They compete with Ed and all the others, and they do very well. And Elon Musk invested a lot of money in it. At Little Rock, he invested $1 million in it. Burns Park has all these courts. I see them announcing at 7 o'clock in the morning. Well, temperature's 30-some degrees, we're expecting people to come out and play pickleball outside today. It's just, it's crazy, it's addictive, believe me. And I don't mean to do the sales pitch on it, because it's just everywhere. If you watch TV, at least 4 times a day, there'll be a commercial with either pickleball being played in the background or in the foreground. It's the fastest growing sport that's ever happened, because it appeals to all ages, and it's easy to learn. That's my point. That's it.
Just say they're doing grants all over the place for this.
Yeah, I think they are.
How big is that handball court?
Bigger than what I was looking up here. Pickleball courts are 20 by 44.
Yeah, pickleball going to the same.
Well, we tore down the handball deal, and we got a slab sitting there. We can get a grant. There's your pickleball court.
Yep.
And we could still have tennis if we wanted to. We've got to just put a net back up on it. Repaint the lines.
You know, you could still have the tennis net up there with this little pickleball court. In fact, that would be good because
You do both.
pickleball can go into the other court if you have it up there.
I'm all about seeing if we can get a grant for it.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
trying to.
I sent to the committee a few months ago all the information on buying equipment and doing all that. It's there in your records or somewhere. Like I say, the T-Mobile has its hometown grant. They've got $25 million for 500 rural towns. And I think each grant is $50,000, but they only do 25 a year, so you got, you have a chance. My hometown in Elwyn, Oklahoma got one last year, so, and I think that's Al Mulberry got it. So, the grants have got to be there. Also, this thing you sent out said what activities would you like to see on the park? And people check, and pickleball was listed. I know a lot of people check that, so I don't know if that has any strength or influence on what you do, but I just think it, you talk about things being burned out and all that. I'm sure that happens in other places, but I don't see it happening in these places like Camp Chaffee and the places I've been, they're these kind of rural, but nobody talks about any vandalism. So I don't know what you could do about that. Like I say, it'd be good to have lights out there. It'd be good to have, you talk about having somebody just be out there to kind of patrol the area and monitor it or something. I don't know, it seems like having some kind of lights with the flash on or something.
Some structure is what I was trying to get for.
Huh?
Some structure,
Okay.
just basically if something went wrong, someone would have a pretty good idea who done it.
Okay.
Or what groups, something that would save us money in the long run, but anyway.
Anyway, that,
Do you have the info for the T-Mobile stuff?
I do.
Can we get it,
That was council.
please?
Yep.
Anyway, that's my point.
2.
I'm just saying, if we,
20 by 44.
if we get a grant, put it in. Let's try to get a grant, put it in.
I'm for it too.
I mean, you got a slab sitting over there doing nothing.
And that's not about the kids.
Well,
It's
I
nothing.
marked it off 2 courts, the wrong direction actually, because of the sun, in the morning and evening. It needs to be turned, and then that goes the length of the court, two side by side and two more, and they'll barely fit, but they will fit. And
So you can get 4?
That's on the tennis court. you're talking about.
He's all talking about the tennis court.
I'm not thinking tennis court, tennis court.
I would too.
If that handball court's sitting there and it's not used and it's big enough,
Yeah.
I don't know why we wouldn't,
I know.
because it's just a slab sitting there not doing anything.
Let's see what we can do on that,
Yes.
really, because I think we're all pretty much, I ain't heard
Okay.
Kerry say anything.
There are a lot of people in the community would appreciate that, I know, because they just keep showing interest, and, you know, when they go to the church to play, they got 2 courts, well, that's 8 people, there'll be 18 that'll show up. So we gotta wait around to play, and besides that, when the weather's coming on, it's time to get outside and play, you know, and that's what a lot of, I mean, I've got back to the games, I don't see going inside anyway, so.
One thing, okay, if we find a grant, let's work on that, if we think about whatever, we need to work on the grant, see if we get the money to go through. We've got concrete down. Every one of y'all, each one of you councilmen have a book in there on Burke's playground equipment. I talked to Mr. Burke, or not Mr. Burke, but the rep that represents them on our grant. He's one of the companies, he might be the company, he is the company you use, he's been willing to come down. They're gonna give you a design for, playground of $125,000 to $150,000, or $125,000 playground will look like, what $150,000 playground will look like. They're gonna give you a design of the most used equipment that would be there. The only thing I ask you to do, the handicap stuff, this is all ADA, this playground all has to be ADA, but ADA means the person has to have a provider screen. So a girl rolls up in a wheelchair to these things, or a boy, they gotta be able to pull themselves up and go around. That will be the parking building. He's gonna design one swing that a person, keep that going, but a person could get in, that's in a wheelchair could get in and occupant could swing, and he's gonna put what they feel is good, is get us some
Dude, have you seen
greenery back to look at what we're doing. Y'all look at that playground equipment, if there's a particular piece of equipment you'd like to see in there, y'all need to get back with me, and he will show you, whether or not,
Start right here is your actual playground.
you know, show you,
I think it's
you
right
can put that in and
here.
take a piece out if it's something
Where
different.
they actually
But
have
he's gonna go
prizes
ahead
on
and get,
some of this crap.
playground set that would be $125,000, $150,000
That's all you
goes
get
to
for
grant.
that price.
And, I mean, this,
It's
I'm not against the pickleball, I'm for
$116,000.
the pickleball stuff. But we have a, but we have a grant to do this other playground, I can't take that money and use it somewhere else,
It's crazy.
okay?
Crazy.
So I'm not neglecting what you're saying, but we
Show
did
me
get
that
a,
pickleball is really high up on the priority here.
I understand that, but we have this other grant that we got grant money for that we need to use it for what the money was used for, turn it back in. So, if y'all will look at that book and get back with me pretty quick, because they're drawing, he should have us some renderings, back. And this has not been released, this is another thing that the governor has got to get back in state for. And then we gotta go up there for the fine, our money hasn't been released on that, but it will be pretty quick. We'll need to be ready to go. If y'all want anything on the playground equipment,
Here's my thing on that. I understand that you're gonna get a price on a 125 and a 150, but what if we don't raise any money? We got $100,000 sitting there.
got 130.
So we ain't
No,
got,
the grant,
we ain't got the grant back yet, but,
you're gonna get, he's pretty sure he'll get that, so there's money in it.
okay, well, then we're covered, but I'm just saying,
I talked to the chamber, and the chamber is gonna help us, if we want to go out and raise some money, because the chamber thinks would be nice to have $150,000, $175,000 park over there. Really not a lot of equipment.
No,
I will say this, whenever
we
we
used to install it, I
raise
know.
money for this,
We used to install it, I know.
whenever we raise money for this thing, we don't need to sell them the money to give them a little, because the prices, we need to be very transparent on what they're actually getting for $125,000, because the prices on this stuff is insane.
The
You know what I
the
mean?
rep from Burke, I called him, I saw him at the, municipal league meeting, I went around and looked at all those a year ago. This is the only company that does their own, what do you call the mat on the bottom, impact material.
Okay.
They brought that in-house. they're half price on impact material, what anybody else is quoting. Playground equipment's not gonna be any different. They're cheaper on, because they're doing the impact stuff themselves. So they're cheaper. And he come down, he lives at Maumelle, he come down, you have to bid the job, it's not, and you're gonna bid it to whatever spec of playground equipment you want. But just like he was talking to me, he said, just like it takes about 4 inches of, like SB2 or fines to come to the top. I said, we can do that to cities, and that's $3.50 a square foot off of the price of them installing it. We'll do that. I'm going out there and run a whack packer. I'll take a day or two off and put the 3 inches of that in for the.
Yeah,
There's no need bidding that out with that in there. We can do that.
there's a lot to
And
it.
that'll make the money go a little further. But he's gonna get us a rendering of what we're looking at, so if we go out and start talking,
And we can,
this is what $125,000 gonna look like, this is what $150,000 gonna look like. I didn't go any higher than that.
and we can look on that survey and see what people requested to have.
Well, and it, you know, even on that survey, they say on parks you want pickleball.
No, I'm talking about
But this,
equipment.
we gotta get everybody to understand,
There is one on there about playground equipment.
yeah, but if this grant can't be used for pickleball,
I
this
know
grant
that.
can't be used at the old park. It's gotta be used
Probably
at
should
the
have
park.
one specifically for what playground equipment they'd like to see, maybe.
I think it was in there.
And we'll look at that, and they're gonna show you that.
Yeah,
You
like
know, that's
swings
just
would
like
be
a
nice on
swing.
the new
We
playground.
probably will not put a swing in there.
Mm-mm.
A swing takes from the center post of the swing, you gotta have impact material 16 foot behind it, 16 foot in front of it, and then if you use 2 swings, it's 10 foot, and then you gotta have 12 foot, and then you gotta have 12 foot on each end. The swing takes up
You need
so
some
much
for
area.
little kids to climb on.
So he's saying there's things we can get for more kids to occupy and play on. Swing uses up way too, now swing's cheap to buy, $5,000 to buy you a 4-man swing. But then you got all that
Yep.
$20 a square foot for the mat material. And he's saying there's ways, but anyway, he's gonna get that. That's not saying we're gonna use him. It'll have to be bid. He just come down, I'm just working with him. He's offered to do that. So, any other thing we need to talk about? Yes.
Well, we haven't really talked about the council meeting yet, we do have a meeting later this week about the clip. Less than a month away.
Why don't we just make everybody stay home?
Well, at this
Close
point,
Glenwood.
the schools are all closed, every one of them's closed for that day.
Yeah.
We have they're calling it bad enough, but I've got landings on it.
It's gonna be crazy, it really is, it's
I
gonna
don't
be
know if
nuts.
that's something everybody needs to have in the back of their mind. We have our last, emergency management meeting
Yep.
Thursday night. So just, y'all keep it in mind. It's here, it's time.
So we'll get some camps everywhere.
So that week up,
Yeah. One thing I would like to bring back on our other subject before we leave, and I'm not being funny here, but, that guy you was talking about on this playground equipment, the resale on this stuff is probably not very good as far as like resale. There might be some city that he's privy to that just got this huge grant or some endowment or something that's putting in a magnificent deal and upgrading something that they just put in 2 or 3 years ago, and there might be an option on the secondary market, I don't know.
I don't think we can use used equipment on this.
May not be able
And
to,
this,
but
if I understand this
thought.
one part grant.
Everything
you
has to be
can't
new.
You cannot use, the wood chips.
Mhm.
This has to be the impact material that's gonna be there. And that's correct, so your.
Wouldn't hurt to
square
ask.
footage just come
I
down
think what he's
a
talking
whole
about is
lot.
the playground sets, not the material going on
Yeah.
it. But I
No,
think
he's
the way
talking
this,
about the sets. I don't think we can use.
Yeah,
used
I-
sets.
I don't know,
think you
but there
can.
may be there may be a part that you're talking about space. There may be some surplus equipment with this guy that he's privy to, where they were gonna do X, but they wound up doing Y, and they've got some stuff that.
But I'm not so-
There might be a
Well,
deal
he-
there available.
This got, Burks puts, some equipment on special up to 35% off. And when we get closer to a bid time, if there's a piece of equipment that we might want that's not in there, that you might look at some of that could help the cost of the playground equipment. But you don't know what pieces are gonna be on sale during that time. They have a sale just like everybody else.
Yeah.
And he said if it says it's on sale with Birch, it's on sale with Birch. It'd save you anywhere from 10 to 35%. But we gotta get somewhere to
Yeah.
start moving. I've got a set of drawings coming.
All right,
Anything else?
nope.
Got a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second
Second.
it.
Roll call. Terry Brady.
Aye.
Jimmy Clark.
Uh,
Chris Moore.
Aye.